Ready to tackle that building project? Start right. Start here at H&L Rapid True Value for building supplies. The time by H&L Rapid True Value is
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
Learn about smart betting strategies with AnyBet. Bet wisely, enjoy responsibly, and maximize your success. The temperature by AnyBet is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 out west in Montego Bay.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robian Williams.
In Nationwide News at this hour, public sector workers to benefit from a boost in their basic salaries starting this month.
Murders and shootings continue to show significant decline across the country.
Peter Bunting is calling for an independent sentencing commission to support legislators in setting penalties for serious crimes.
Gas truck explodes near Riverton City dump, causing a chain reaction of fires.
Favour Williams urging constituents in Western St. Andrew to reject the PNP.
To all the PNP voters in St. Andrew Western, time come for a switch to the Jamaica Labour Party!
In news from the rest of the world, AR-15 hidden in crib, mother arrested in TNT.
No casualties reported in Iran's missile strike on U.S. military base in Qatar.
In headline sports, J3A's president Garth Gale saddened at the departure of Jamaican athletes to Turkey.
And later in our broadcast, in the cover story at 5:35, it's the race to 32. The country's two major political parties are kicking into high gear their campaigns for the next general elections. We'll hear from first-term MP for Western Hanover, Tamika Davis, about her preparations for the upcoming polls.
In public opinion at 6:26, we ask, what's your view of political representatives who switch sides? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90FM.
In the nation's business at 6:40, the JLP top brass, including Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, recently introduced Ambassador Audrey Marks to party workers in northeast Manchester. Marks is expected to be the JLP candidate in the next election. We'll hear from a few of the party's supporters in the constituency. All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile. Nationwide 90 FM, Nationwide Radio, JM.com, and on the Nationwide app. Available on the Google Play and the App Store. This Monday afternoon, it's Monday, June 23, 2025.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
And now to the details. Public sector workers are set to benefit from a boost in their basic salaries. The Finance Minister, Favour Williams, has announced that eligible employees will receive up to 3 increments in their substantive salary scales for the 2025-26 financial year. In a statement today, the Minister says this amounts to an approximate 7.5% increase. The Minister says they're also moving to ensure all long-awaited increment payments for workers are met before the end of June. Siobhan Campbell tells us more.
Some union groups, such as teachers and healthcare workers, have grown restive over concerns that the Finance Ministry will not meet the June deadline in dispersing payments in salary increments. The June date was stipulated in an agreement with the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, JCTU. With the deadline fast approaching, President of the Jamaica Civil Service Association, Tesha Clark Griffiths, last week called for healthcare workers to be notified in advance if there will be further delays.
It is always at the last minute that they send out something to the workers. If it is that there are some challenges, they need to communicate with the worker representative about those challenges. And it is not on their time. They are given a specific time frame in which to pay. They need to pay the workers their money. The deadline for payment is the 30th of June. They still have another couple days to go.
In a response on Monday, Minister Favour Williams noted that some ministries, departments and agencies have already begun disbursing the increases, while others are working to complete payments by the end of June. Under the new system, public sector employees will receive up to 3 increments in their prospective salary bands for the financial year. The minister says the development marks a significant shift from the previous system before 2022. Under that arrangement, before the public sector compensation overhaul, only a single increment per year was granted. This was contingent on achieving at least 75% on the performance management and appraisal system. Minister Williams stated that the new arrangement resulted from continued dialogue with the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, JCTU. She says the adjustment is part of ongoing efforts to enhance the remuneration framework in a fair and fiscally sustainable way. She further affirmed that the ministry will maintain active engagement with unions and associations across the public sector to ensure continued improvement of the compensation structure, emphasizing fairness, transparency, and fiscal responsibility. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Murders and shootings continue to show significant decline across the island. The latest data published by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, show that murders are down by 43% up to Saturday, June 21. 322 homicides had been committed. That's 244 fewer than the 566 murders recorded in the corresponding period last year. In the same period, shootings also saw a major decline. The JCF says shootings declined by 33%, coming in at 345 up to June 21. St. James took the top spot with the highest drop in murders and shootings. According to the force, the division recorded 47 fewer murders than the 73 committed in the period last year. In relation to shootings, St. James had 41 fewer incidents than the 67 recorded up to June 21 last year. Meanwhile, rapes are down by 29%. However, the JCF says break-ins have increased by 22%. Robberies have also increased by 3%.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is commending the St. Thomas Police Division for achieving a 63% clear-up rate for murders. The Prime Minister received a report from Operations Officer in St. Thomas, Assistant Superintendent Leonard Kinlock, during a field visit last Thursday. ASP Kinlock reported that while the number of murders, shootings and rapes has increased by 1 compared to last year, the overall trend in accusatory crimes is moving in the positive direction. He further noted that the division has been able to curb an increase in migrant criminals thanks to intensified police operations. ACP Kinlock highlighted a recent operation that resulted in 4 wanted men being apprehended. He noted that 2 of the men were from St. James. The Prime Minister praised the reduced numbers as a significant accomplishment for the division.
Opposition spokesman on national security Senator Peter Bunting is calling for an independent sentencing commission to support legislators in setting penalties for serious crimes such as murders. Mr. Bunting says this will keep the country in line with modern globally accepted trends.
But going forward, I think the Parliament might consider the establishment of an independent sentencing commission, as other countries have, that can guide Parliament and policymakers with evidence-based recommendations, and to ensure that our laws keep pace with fairness, proportionality, and modern penal philosophy. It can examine safety valve provisions, enabling judges to depart from the mandatory minimum where the offender played a minor role, acted under duress, or shows clear potential for rehabilitation.
Senator Bunting made the recommendation during his contribution to the debate on mandatory minimum penalties for murder in the Senate on Friday. Under the new legislation, the mandatory minimum penalty proposed for non-capital murder is 30 years. Where the offense committed is capital murder, the term of years to be deemed as life imprisonment will move from 30 years to 50. While not entirely opposed to mandatory minimum penalties, Senator Bunting called for more to be done to curb crime through social interventions.
And above all, we need to stop pretending that sentencing alone can fix what is broken. We must invest in community-based diversion programs, youth rehabilitation, skills training, and restorative justice. We must address the root causes of crime, not just its symptoms. A just society is not one where the poor are punished swiftly and severely, while the privileged walk free. A just society is one where punishment fits not just the crime, but the circumstances, the offender, and the greater good.
Peter Bunting, opposition spokesman on national security.
Don't gamble with your security. That's the warning for MP for East Central St. Catherine, the JLP's Orlando Terrelong, to the electorate. He told the JLP constituency conference in Western St. Andrew on Sunday that the Holness government's investment in policing is yielding results. He pointed to the fact that there's been no murders in Gregory Park in his constituency since October last year.
Don't gamble with your national security. Dr. Horace Chan is doing an excellent job. Minister Mackenzie, we have not had one murder in Gregory Park since October last year. This is the safest Gregory Park has been in the last 30 years because the government is putting more resources into the policing. Not one. So imagine Gregory Park multiplied by the rest of the communities across Jamaica. Don't gamble with your future.
For many years, Gregory Park was a crime hotspot plagued by violence, with criminals committing murders and torching homes. In 2023, criminals firebombed a tenement yard, leaving 1 man dead and 11 homes torched. A 70-year-old woman, Naomi Gokul, who was badly injured in the attack, later died. The government established a mobile police post in the area in late 2024. This is in keeping with the direction of the security forces to work closely with the community. Pointing to the JLP government's record of achievement in office, Terrelong further urged the electorate not to change course with the country's leadership. He says Dr. Holness is the best leader at this time to take the country forward.
Don't gamble with the leadership of Jamaica. Andrew Holness has proven himself to be the best leader that this region has seen, and every other leader in the Caribbean has said so. Don't gamble with it. To gamble with your future, to go place a bet on somebody else, means that you run the risk of setting Jamaica back 30 years, back to the 1970s, back to the 1990s, back to high unemployment, back to the days of FinSAC, back to high interest rate, no job opportunities for the young people. So my fellow Labourites, let us stay the course.
Orlando Terrelong, the Member of Parliament for East Central St. Catherine.
A shower of rain provided much-needed assistance to firefighters on Monday as they battled a chain reaction of fires along Spanish Town Road in Kingston. The first fire started after a gas truck exploded in the vicinity of Riverton City Dump sometime after 11 a.m. Flames from the truck spread to a nearby streetlight, which also caught fire. Sparks from the burning post then fell onto a warehouse, igniting it as well. Shalois Michael visited the location.
It was a loud explosion that drew residents to the scene just in time to see a Fesco gas truck on fire. Residents say within minutes, flames from the truck trickled to a street light, which triggered the second blaze. They say the firefighters came and started tending to the two fires. But little did they know that sparks from the street light had fallen to the roof of AgriWorld Farm Store, a warehouse along the strip. One resident says it was others on location who alerted the firemen to the third fire.
We hear the first pop, we think it was a tire. Then we hear the second one. Then we heard person saying it's one of the Fesco gas truck them. When I came out here now and said the whole thing, turned to one of the man them and tell them, say, the first building over there, so I catch a fire as well, but them never see. I so comes now somebody that was standing next to me, run go tell one of the fire brigade, say, over there, so I catch a fire. By the time them for tell him that, building catch a fire. So comes now them start hurry the pace for out it.
The fire from the warehouse triggered thick blankets of smoke engulfing the area. To fight the blaze, firefighters had to block a section of the road, resulting in traffic gridlock. Acting Assistant Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade Area 1, Leroy Orr, says the subsequent shower of rain was a tremendous help in putting out the blaze.
Very important that we got the showers because one of our things, apart from using foam, we also use water, and therefore the rain would have helped us in containing and also assist in cooling the fire, even the tanker itself, because we usually have water in the tanker so that the situation don't get larger, so the rain would have helped us in that instance. We have 6 units in total, 4 pumper, what we call fire unit, and 2 water tenders.
He says no civilian was injured.
We are now presently doing cooling down operation. We haven't established what has caused the fire as yet. Investigation will be done at a later date to establish that information. No reported civilian injury. Firefighters have minor injuries, but it's something that we can take care of. No injury occurred to the driver of the truck.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
You're listening to the news on Nationwide at 5. We'll have more after these.
Annual eye examinations not only assess your vision but may be life-saving. Eye tests may detect serious health issues that go beyond your vision, including diabetes, hypertension, and some cancers. Call IQ Optical to schedule your comprehensive eye test today. The time by IQ Optical is...
It's 15 minutes after 5.
Rentokil Initial offers air purification solutions with triple filtration and unique auto-sensing capabilities that neutralizes malodor and replaces it with clean air. Call Rentokil Initial at 926-4236 for more details.
The temperature by Rent-A-Kill is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 out west in Montego Bay.
The name you trust to be your friend, to be a partner by your side. For generations we have been the one you trust as your financial guide. Sagicor, building trust for generations, helping hopes and dreams to grow, building our nation. Sagicor's the name you know. Sagicor.
Sagicor, celebrating 55 years.
Building trust for generations.
Continuing the news, the JLP's Favour Williams has blasted the PNP's Anthony Hilton for what she says has been his poor representation of Western St. Andrew. Williams, who is also the finance minister, took Hilton to task as she endorsed Corey Dunkley as the JLP's caretaker in the seat. She says a quick internet search tells a story of Hilton's representation.
It will tell you that Anthony Hilton was elected Member of Parliament for the PNP, and during his tenure, he has been a cabinet minister. That same Wikipedia will tell you, and I take no pleasure in saying it because it's people who live in St. Andrew Western, but Wikipedia says the PNP MP Hilton oversees one of the most run-down constituency in the country.
Mrs. Williams says the time has come for a change in the traditionally safe PNP seat.
I say to you, if you look at their history, PNP history in St. Andrew Western, they have not shown much development here. And so I say to all the PNP voters in St. Andrew Western, time come for a switch to the Jamaica Labour Party. It's been too long for the PNP to sit and continue to hope for development with a PNP MP. Time come to vote JLP in St. Andrew Western.
Favour Williams, the finance minister. Anthony Hilton has represented Western St. Andrew since 2007. He previously represented Western St. Thomas in the Parliament. Hilton will be seeking his 5th term in West St. Andrew when he contests the general election later this year.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
The World in a Minute. The Trinidad and Tobago police arrested a Dominican Republic woman on Sunday after she attempted to hide an assault rifle in her baby's crib. In an operation spearheaded by officers of the gang unit, the police raided a house when they found the 33-year-old woman. At the time, the woman had her baby with her, but police said while she was holding the child, the woman was seen hurriedly trying to stuff a heavy metal object beneath a mattress in the crib. When officers turned over the mattress, they found a black and silver AR-15 with a fully loaded magazine. Officers also found 100 rounds of 5.5 ammunition in the house. The woman was subsequently arrested. She's yet to be charged.
The United States has confirmed that no casualties were reported in Iran's missile strike on its military base in Qatar. Iran launched missiles at the U.S. airbase in response to strikes on its nuclear sites on Saturday. Iran said it targeted the base because it was outside of populated areas. Qatar called the missile attack a flagrant violation, adding that all the missiles were intercepted. Qatar noted that it reserved the right to respond directly. In Washington, Donald Trump and defense officials held a Situation Room meeting 2 days after the U.S. launched massive strikes against 3 nuclear facilities inside Iran. Trump said Iran warned the U.S. before its missile strike. He also expressed hope that the missiles would be the end of Iranian retaliation for U.S. strikes on their nuclear sites.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour, public sector workers are to benefit from a boost in their basic salaries starting this month.
Murders and shootings continue to show significant decline across the country.
Gas truck explodes near Riverton City dump, causing a chain reaction of fires.
And Favour Williams urging constituents in Western St. Andrew to reject the PNP.
I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Roby Ann Williams.
Listeners, you can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app, available on the Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
Get on the rum with Appleton Estate this month. Dive into the history, craftsmanship, and experience a taste of Jamaican excellence. Indulge in your favorite Appleton Estate cocktails and food pairings available at participating restaurants. Or receive a complimentary Appleton 8-year-old Reserve 200 ml when you purchase a bottle of Appleton Estate's Signature Blend 750 ml while stocks last at participating outlets. Appleton Estate. Land on the extraordinary. Follow us at Appleton Estate JA to get on the rum. Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Delicious meals, poolside cocktails, right on the beach. Disconnect from your daily worries and reconnect with the one you love. There's no paradise like home. This summer, enjoy a romantic all-inclusive escape at Couples Tower Isle, Couples Sans Souci, Couples Negril, or Couples Swept Away from $295 USD per night. Take advantage of this offer today by visiting Couples Resorts at couples.com. Conditions apply.
Sports at 5 is brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. J3A's President Garth Gale says he's saddened by the decision by 4 Jamaican athletes who have started the process of switching allegiance to Turkey. Olympic discus champ and record holder Roger Stoner, Paris shot put bronze medalist Rajendra Campbell, world and Olympic long jump silver medalist Wayne Pinnock, and triple jump star Jaden Hibbert have all decided to wear the colors of the West Asian country. Gale was speaking publicly about the move for the first time.
Very saddened. Saddened because these are Jamaicans who would have attended school. They understand the good and bad of Jamaica. But they know Jamaica is caring, and to now go into a new area, a new hemisphere, so to speak, where you won't be able to be close to family members, must have been a hard decision for them.
Garth Gale, president of the J3As, he says he wished the athletes had consulted with the J3As or even members of their management team to discuss the matter, but he admitted that they would still be powerless to stop them given the massive offer from Turkey.
There are so many persons both on their management team that they could have easily have spoken with to let us know We can't compete. No way, no how can we ever compete with that. Not even a country can compete with such offerings. And so, while I'm sad and I won't see them jumping or throwing in Jamaican colors, I will greet them when and wherever I do come into contact with them on the international circuit and competitions. So I wish them all the best.
Gale says he's yet to receive any documentation from World Athletics regarding the move, but he says he'll not stand in the athlete's way when the official requests forms arrive on his desk.
I know World Athletics will be sending in short order to us. We will be combing our network to see if they have sent anything to us, because we have been watching the network or the communication lines with World Athletics from the outset of the news, and so we will deal with it accordingly.
You'll sign off on it if it comes.
Why would we not? Why would we not? This is their choice. It's their choice. We may not be happy. As I said, we are sad, but what else can we do?
J3's President Garth Gale speaking to Nationwide Sports today. In the meantime, over 720 athletes have entered for the J3's Puma National Athletics Championships June 26 to 29 at the National Stadium. The number is well above the 647 who participated in last year's staging. 47 of those entered this year are from other countries who will use the event to achieve qualifying times for their respective disciplines ahead of the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan in September. 104 events are on the schedule over the 4 days, the highest in the championship's history. Chairman of the organizing committee, Luddy Watt, says the 4 days will mirror the World Championships.
If you look at the entries that will come in, you'll see that there's an exciting array of events and number of athletes, outstanding athletes. So if you look at the men's and the women 100 meters, it will be like a major championship because we have quality. So what you'll be having is quality event, quality competition, and very less expensive cost structure. So everybody should be able to come.
Ludlow Watt, former national sprint champion Elaine Thompson-Hera, is not on the list of those entered for any of the sprints, but her longtime rivals Shelley and Fraser-Price and Cherika Jackson are. Meanwhile, the J3As has confirmed they've identified 3 meets at which they'll attempt to qualify: the 4x400 meters mixed relay team, the 4x100 meters for men, and the 4x400 meters for women ahead of the World Championships. The first will be in Barbados on July 5, the second at the London Diamond League in England, July 19, and the NACAC Championships, August 15 to 17. The deadline to achieve entry standards to the World Championships is August 24. West Indies women beat South Africa by 6 wickets in the third and deciding T20 International at the 3Ws Oval in Barbados on Monday to take the series 2-1. Batting first, South Africa made 147 for 6 in their 20 overs. Miani Smith made an undefeated 59 and Laura Woolsdorf 29. Karishma Ramnarak and Afi Fletcher packed 2 wickets apiece. In reply, the Caribbean women made 148 for 4 inside 19 overs. Captain Hayley Matthews hit 65 of 50 balls, while Shameen Campbell made 42. Marizani Cap took 2 wickets. Coach of the West Indies, Darren Sammy, is banking on his players to produce the goods when they take on Australia in a 3-test series. The first game at the Kensington Oval in Bridgetown, Barbados, starting on Wednesday. Sammy says they want just the thought of playing in the Caribbean to drive fear into their opponents.
We're confident we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't train the way we train, plan the way we plan if we were not confident that we could go out and win cricket matches. And that's what it's all about, building that culture, being clear, communicate well, and having that confidence. Because you will need all of that to play when you compete against the top teams in the world.
Sammy says the players are focused and ready for the job at hand.
For us, is focusing on our preparation, understanding the challenges that we will be facing, which is the opposition, and coming up with the game plan that we back ourselves to execute. So Australia, whether with Steve Smith, obviously they're really strong, but without him, they're equally capable of winning test matches. You know, the system has shown and proven over the last decade that they're one of the top teams in the world, and that's why I'm in the number one for a reason.
West Indies all-format coach Darren Sammy. And finally in sports at this time, England set 371 for victory. They closed the 4th day of the first test against India at Headingley on 21 without loss, with Ben Duckett on 9 and Zach Crowley on 12. England were kept in the Test match by Josh Tongue's devastating burst after wonderful centuries from KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant gave India the advantage. Rahul struck a classical 139 and Pant a typically entertaining 118, putting India on course for a fourth-day declaration. Left-hander Pant became the second batter to make hundreds in each innings in a test on this ground, and the second wicketkeeper to do so anywhere. But Tongue took 3 wickets in 4 deliveries to help dismiss India for 364, setting England 371 to win. India lost their last 6 wickets for 31 runs. Faced with pulling off their second highest successful chase in a test, England survived 6 overs, 3 of which were bowled by the outstanding Jasprit Bumrah. It sets up the prospect of a grandstand finale on Tuesday. With all 4 results possible, it could be another Headingley classic. And that would be for sports at the moment. We're going to be back, though, with more at 6:05 this evening.
Sports at 5 was brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade. Bosco Bell St. Mary is your newest gateway to Miami. Daily flights are available for your convenience. The temperature brought to you by the Airport Authority of Jamaica is
28 degrees Celsius here in the nation's capital, Kingston. It's 25 in the western city, Montego Bay.
Tired of waiting for your ride? Want safety and peace of mind on every journey? Amber On Time is here. With verified drivers, real-time vehicle tracking, and panic button with armed security response, your safety is our priority. Reliable service, easy booking, premium experience, it's all just a tap away. Download Amber On Time today.
Outperform, outlast. With top performance. Jackama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electricians. Fancy select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
We have, as a people, been fed a steady diet of information, oftentimes untrue, that nothing nah go on. This is probably the first government that almost every single day of the week could have a groundbreaking, a handing over, a contract signing, a commissioning, because enough things are going on in Jamaica under the Andrew Holness-led government. Enough things. So when they come to you with the negativity about nothing nah go on, you may not see what is happening. So when you see groundbreaking, we have been working 2 years, 3 years before bringing it through a process, and we have all kinds of projects, not in a pipeline. Our projects are on a track, so we have a train line of projects to come.
This message is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
The future belongs to the bold, to those ready to realign with purpose and prosperity. Realign 2025 connects Africa and the Caribbean, where innovation meets investment. Speakers include Senator the Honorable Audrey Marks, Nigerian Ambassador Janet Olisa, David Mullings, Anthony Hilton, and Christopher Denny. For investors, access to high potential ventures. For SMEs, funding, partnerships, and global market entry. June 25 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Realign with your destiny. Register now at entrapartners.com/re-align.
Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, is a financial reporting firm that delivers accounting and compliance services on time. Call us today at 876-908-0486-7. Email us at clientservices@cocnjamaica.com or visit our website at www.cocnjamaica.com. COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
More savings, more choices. Get active with Active Home Center. The one-stop shop for everything for your home. We have more savings, more choices, unbelievable prices. Wide selection with the latest styles. The kitchen, bathroom, right down to the tile. Buy the hottest items on spot, don't miss out. Best options under one roof, no doubt. More savings, more choices.
Visit us in store or online at www.activehomecenter.com.
We have more savings, more choices.
Is your money idling when it could be thriving? With CIBC Caribbean's fixed deposit offering, you can take charge of your cash. With 50,000 Jamaican to start, choose terms from 30 days to 2 years. Lock in your funds and enjoy premium rates guaranteed to grow your wealth. Whether you're eyeing short or long-term gains, our fixed deposit account puts you firmly in control of your money. Now is the time to open a CIBC fixed deposit account and start earning more today. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Cover Story is brought to you by
Multilink. Roll with control. Use Multilink. Safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
Multi-link, access every time, everywhere I go. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use Multi-link. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere. Spend while supporting the economy.
Look for the Multi-link logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network.
Multi-link, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my Multilink?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here nationwide at 5. I'm Cliff.
Good afternoon, listeners. Good afternoon, Cliff. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I am all right.
Good.
I'm all right.
Good.
Well, it's a Monday afternoon, Monday, June 23. And from all indications, yes, we're now into full-fledged election campaigning. Yes? You were pointing out to me, you noticed recently that a certain pair of green clerks.
Yes, last evening the Prime Minister was wearing his clerks.
Which is a signal that
Yes.
he's now in official campaign mode.
If we look at 2020, yes. And on Saturday, I think it was, he made a point of bringing out the bell and talking about the symbolism of the bell.
Mhm.
That when the bell goes off, it's time to gather. Because he said the teacher was calling the class
To
to
order.
attention and to order. I think now we can start to guess pretty confidently where this is going. The CARICOM heads of government will meet in Montego Bay from the 6th to the 8th of July, I believe it is.
That's Monday, that's Sunday the 6th.
To the 8th, I think, is when they're slated to meet.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, the Parliament must go on summer recess not very long after that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, it returns from summer recess at about mid-September, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So once the Parliament is on recess, the Prime Minister then would be at liberty to advise the Governor General to prorogue the Parliament. So I think August, early September. And then, of course, you do the math according to the Representation of the People's Act. And you can start to guess some dates.
My reading is that the elections could be announced as early as the end of June, the first couple of days in July. And we'll go to the
I
polls
suspect
by the end
we'd
of
want
July.
to have our CARICOM brothers and sisters back in their islands before we announce a date.
Yeah.
Before we announce a date.
They're going to be meeting in a hotel.
Yes, for
a
sure.
Nice hotel in a
for
very
sure. But
fine
the Prime
atmosphere.
Minister will be doing statesman. He's the chair of CARICOM now. He'll be
Yes.
chairing the meeting. So perhaps
Yes.
he'll wait until he's gotten that little business out of the way and then.
Before he announces.
Yes. And then I think he would announce because the Parliament would go for recess and then he can tell the Governor General, prorogue it.
I suspect he's going to go early August or by the end of July.
We're certainly in full
unknown
campaign mode
factor.
now.
Two big unknown. Well, one is very well known.
Mm-hmm.
Back to school troubles begin in August.
So you want to get ahead of that?
You can't have people worry about how they might buy the school book and pay the school fees and buy the shoes and then go vote.
And I'm not banking on September because the People's National Party's conference is traditionally held in September.
Mid-September.
I don't know that you want to give your opponents the time to be at the height of their mobilization.
No.
So you could be right. It could be before that those two things happen.
And then there's the factor of the weather.
Right. That's the unknown variable.
Yes. And the hurricane season starts to gather pace by the end of July, early August.
If you're a betting man, though, you would probably bet on later August, early September for the intensity that we normally see. Beryl was an anomaly on July 3 last year.
And the other thing is that as a political organization, you have to peak at the right time.
Yes.
It's like conditioning your horse for the derby or your athlete for the Olympics and the World Championships.
And it would appear the Prime Minister is seized of that. I heard him telling his party faithful that what he's doing now is to meet with the workers, the base, to get the base ready. But those who will have to do the actual work on election day. He says there's another element to come.
Another gear.
Yes, when they will start to engage the wider public, and I suppose those would be in the form of mass rallies. Yeah? So, we'll see. But I think we're well and truly now into it.
And therefore, it's a race to 32. Yes? That's how we are dubbing all coverage of the elections in 2025. The race to 32. And we should tell our listeners why we have decided to dub it the race to 32.
Because that's the magic number.
And also, based on our polling, based on all the anecdotal indications, this is going to be a close election.
Yes.
Yes? 32 is going to be the magical number. Yes? It could get down to 33-30.
Yes.
32-31.
The People's National Party needs to flip 18 seats to form the government. If they are successful, they'll fall right on 32, 14 plus the 18. They'd become the government. So for many reasons, 32 will be a very, very significant number come election night.
Well, this afternoon, we're going to be focusing on several. There are about 16, 18 constituencies that will determine the winner of the elections. Yeah? 16, 17, 18 there. One of them is Western Hanover. Yes? That's where we're going to focus this afternoon. It's represented now in the House by Attorney at Law Tamika Davis. She's a first-term MP. She defeated the PNP's Ian Hales in the 2020 general elections by 1,029 votes.
On election night, she amassed 6,028 votes to Hales' 4,999. Hales is now the PNP standard bearer over in Western Westmoreland. And the party will be seeking to have Heather Miller, that's the PNP, Heather Miller Bennett, challenge Tamika Davis in the upcoming elections.
For her part, Mrs. Miller Bennett says she got into representational politics because she has a passion for uplifting Western Hanover. She was speaking at the PNP's Western Hanover Constituency Conference and office opening yesterday, Sunday.
I have always had a passion for serving. And when I decided that I was going to serve, I said to no, I am me bad, I am me come from. Me not gone away. I have a passion for lifting up Hanover. I have a passion for making Western Hanover better. I feel the fire in my belly. I feel the fire in my belly to make sure, say, the policies of the People's National Party is done by you to make sure that at least one in a house will go to university. I feel the passion in my belly to make sure that all who you can rent and own an own house. I feel the passion to make sure, say, the people of Hanover have water from Rock Spring, Askinage, Perry River, who don't have no water. And with Mark Jefferson Golden, that will happen under the People's National Party. Comrades, that office over there is not just a space. It's a beacon of hope. a testament to my unwavering commitment to serve you and every fiber of my being, the fire in my belly, the blood in my eye, if you make sure the Hanover be a better place.
Fire in her belly, blood in her eyes, Heather Miller Bennett. In the meantime, she says the PNP will not be affected by the decision of two high-profile former comrades to switch allegiance to the ruling JLP. The two defectors are Craig Oates, a former policeman who was rejected by the PNP in his bid for the Eastern Hanover seat, and Kenroy Kalami, the man who failed to get the nod to represent the PNP in the Caldwell division in last year's local government elections.
Oates has since said he left the PNP because of how the party sought to damage his reputation, even after he spent several $1 million to boost its fortunes in Hanover. Mrs. Miller Bennett described both men as baggage the PNP is happy to be rid of.
I am happy and I'm pleased to be here. Comrades, we're going into an election. I've been walking the communities. I hear it. I hear the cries. I hear where I need to go. I come in. Be patient with me. Then give me shoes. Barbara Ruby tell me say me need sneakers. Me have 7 counselor. Me get 7 sneakers. Cause me I go walk the place. Comrades, we look good. We strong. We hear so some people switch, but we no care baggage with we. Cause they switch and them are go in a ditch, comrades. Comrades, me know me have no. Me have me party worker them. Me have me man them. And me ready for them. We ready for them. So comrade workers, comrade warriors. And yes, so nice cause we are going to give them a beat. Comrades, we ready. We ready for the road, comrades. Together, we are going to mobilize. Workers, me want to come out to the training. We are finished with canvas. We part with 88%. We're ready for them. Comrades, we will march to Duke Street. Uno keep uno shirt. Because uno are come at town. Uno are come at Duke Street with me. Uno are going to come. Cut me here. We need money. We have to get money because all of them are come at Duke Street with we. Comrade warriors, we ready. We say power, one love, time come, stand up comrades, we ready. And we run ground down here so them are going to see. And we have to run ground. Comrades, say yes no man.
Say yes no man. Say yes.
Heather Miller Bennett.
Can I make 2 observations?
Parliamentary candidate for the PNP in Western Hanover.
2 observations before we go to the break. 1, Mrs. Miller Bennett is clearly very fluent in the patois. 2, she ought to be a little bit more careful with her language. There's a popular saying, Cliff. Snitches get stitches and sometimes end up in ditches. I didn't particularly like switch and end up in a ditch. I didn't like that. Otherwise, she seems to be quite the firebrand.
Yeah. We're going to take the break. Let me tell you, we were hoping to have Mrs. Miller Bennett and the sitting MP, Tamika Davis. Ms. Davis is with us. However, when our producer extended an invitation to Mrs. Miller Bennett, she told us she was willing to join us, but due to the PNP's media protocol, we would have to reach out to the PNP media unit first to get their permission. When our producer did that, the PNP media representative, Tara Playfair Scott, told us that Mrs. Miller Bennett was not available, despite she telling our producer before that she was willing and available to do the interview. So after the break, Tamika Davis.
Clear your barrels and personal shipments with ease and convenience. Request a customs contactless clearance today through CCP at jca.gov.jm. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
12 minutes to 6.
Burn Shack fried chicken always ready. Burn Shack, original crispy. Burn Shack, Cajun spicy. Burn Shack, a barbecue. Burn Shack, we are go a Burn Shack.
The temperature brought to you by Bird Shack Fried Chicken in Kingston, Montego Bay and Ochivios is
28 degrees Celsius here in Kingston. It's 25 out west in Montego Bay.
The loan frenzy is on with Infinity Co-op Credit Unions. Fund your possibilities loan promotion with zero to low processing fees, up to 240 months to repay, and competitive interest rates. You can borrow using a secured or unsecured loan to fund your dreams. Dream it, fund it, live it with Infinity, where possibilities are endless. Visit infinitycuja.com or call 876-926-6973 for more details. Conditions apply.
Enough power tool, big to small. Jack on my figure, dig the wall.
Our Total Tools.
Please walk a figure, trim the lawn. We have everything your job demand.
Total Tools.
We rent them, sell them, and fix them. Also give Total Tools a call. When I say home improvement, landscape construction, or Total Tools are your option. Home improvement, landscape construction, Total Tools are your option. Total Tools, located at 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston. And lot C6 Jackson, St. Anne's Bay. Call us today.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. It's the cover story. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Cliff Hughes.
We're being joined now by the Member of Parliament for Western Hanover, Tamika Davis. Good afternoon, Miss Davis.
Good afternoon, Mr. Brooks, and to you too, Mr. Hughes.
Good afternoon,
to
ma'am.
all your listeners and viewers. I say good afternoon as well.
How are you?
I am doing very well, thank you.
But Mrs. Miller-Bennett seems set to take it to you in a very strong way.
You know, but for joining this call, I would not have heard the tone, the words, and the manner in which she delivered her message. And I use the word message very loosely because I'm still waiting to hear what the message is.
And that message, what's your message to the voters? What are you going to them with later this year?
Well, for my part, I have since 2020 been here with the people, and I think I've demonstrated over my tenure that I am that member of parliament that represents, that cares, and that stays with the people. As a matter of fact, I was asked at another time what is my most notable achievement, and I said, without even thinking about it, that I have earned the reputation of being the member of parliament that is always readily available and accessible. And the constituents always know where and how to find me. And I find that given what we're coming from, that is to me a very remarkable achievement.
But you're going up against history, Tamika Davis. This seat traditionally votes for the People's National Party. 2020, you pulled off an upset, defeating Ian Hales. You're going up against history now. You think you can repeat that feat?
I certainly do. And I think what has contributed to my belief is the fact that social media and politics on a whole has changed. I mean, we've moved from a place where people vote along party lines simply because they are associated or affiliated, perhaps by tradition, to a party. But what I have found is that people are now getting more involved in what is happening. They're more aware. And so they have a voice, not only based on what they've been told or what they've gone into, but really what they see happening, the true achievements and benefits of the person that is representing them. And I think that is what I have to offer. I think I have demonstrated that I have been able to deliver the goods. I know that, and I think that is my handicap, because like you said earlier, I'm the first member of parliament for the ruling Jamaica Labour Party in 31 years. And so the expectations were very high. They still are. And I had a lot to overcome. But while it is that I have not completed all I set out to do, certainly and undoubtedly, there is not one person who can say they have not seen the change since I have taken over in Western Hanover.
Is your confidence, though, supported by the canvas that you've done?
It is. I must say that as well. And this confidence that you hear is, for the most part, buttressed by what we have found in our canvas, and we hope that in addition to what we have on paper already, I will not say what percentage we've covered, but we certainly have covered a lot of ground. And that is why...
Is it more than the 80% I heard Mrs. Miller Bennett citing?
Yes.
May I ask
we have been covering the ground.
May I ask you, Mrs. Miss Davis? There are approximately 35,000 voters on the voting list. That was so up to 2020. How many more are on the list now? And how are you going to turn out the voters? In the last election, the turnout was just over 30%, 33%. Why are the people of Western Hanover not interested?
You will recall that it was a COVID year. It was a COVID year, and I think that has some part to play in that. And so you can't look at it in isolation. I don't think it is. Of course, there are other factors. The electorate sometimes not interested, and the COVID issue, and the ability sometimes of persons to make that decision based on what is happening at that time. But certainly we are hoping that based on all the efforts being made now to get persons more engaged in governance issues and in the voting process, that the turnout will be better this election.
But in the last local elections in February last year, you got a whopping. The JLP did badly in those local elections in Hanover.
I don't know if I use the word you use, but I understand what you're saying.
You lost a popular vote.
It is true. It is true. It is true. And I believe when we are making an assessment of what happened during the local government elections, we have to look at, what I did in Western Hanover was look at each division and viewed it on its own merit. So I didn't just view it as a lump sum to say we lost because persons were against the Jamaica Labour Party government. We had a deeper analysis. And I must tell you that the findings reveal that it was not so much so that the constituents were upset with the party at the time. There were other issues.
Your workers felt ignored.
One of the issues, but again, there were a number of issues that led to it. And I could go in if this discussion is about. Have you addressed those issues though with the party workers? And that is what I was going on to say now, that having happened, it has caused us to look deeper into the issues that we found, and we worked assiduously and quickly to address them, which is why the confidence that you hear now is based on having the assurance that we have corrected for the most part the issues that we found after the local government elections.
Ms. Davis, you're not known on the national scene. You're an attorney at law, but who, apart from that, who is Tamika Davis?
Oh, Tamika Davis is a Hanoverian by birth. I still live, work, reside. I went to Rashid High School, and
you're a Russian.
I'm a proud Russian, proud Russian.
Yes.
And my practice is also in the parish, so my law practice is still here. But quite apart from that, even before my entry into politics, I've always had a deep love for community, for my parish on a whole. And I know that I've often told the story of being able to, from my high school days, being able to engage different agencies to see how best I can help to address the needs. At the time I was living in a small rural community, and I realized then, and I think for the most part that is why I went into law, to be able just to serve and to ensure that you give a voice to the voiceless and to represent persons to the best of your own ability to ensure that at the end of the day, their needs are met.
In terms of where you are now, we're at best weeks away from the elections. Yeah.
I was listening with great intrigue while you were trying to work out the date.
Yes. And tell me, in terms, this is going to be a close election from all indications, unless you know something that we don't. Yeah. How are you going about to ensure that organizationally you are ready to roll from 5 until 6 p.m. on election day?
Well, you said, as it relates to my organization.
Yes, ma'am.
But again, I will have to start that by saying it is backed by my track record. And quite apart from that, we have, as a team, begun to go into our different PDs in the different divisions to ensure that, again, I must cross-reference our local government, to ensure that the mistakes, if I'm to call them that we made then, we won't be making them this time around.
Much has been made about the defection of Craig Oates. What influence do you think that will have come the election?
Oh, it's really hard for me to say. I know that Craig Oates has been doing a lot of work in Eastern Hanover, and it has, again, I must say, it has somewhat spilled over into Western Hanover, though he's not here as much as he is in Eastern. But I'm sure it would have an impact because Mr. Oates is an influencer. I mean, say what you will about him. He comes across as being someone who is an advocate for the people. I mean, even while he was a member of the People's National Party, he's always maintained that his goal was just to get at the truth and to put stories out there that he thought ought to come to the attention of persons living in the parish and in the country at large. So that is what he has labeled himself as. And I believe, for the most part, people see him as that, the person who's always ready to stand up and stand out and say it as it is. So if it is that he continues to do that, and I see that he has, then I'm sure it will have an impact on the turnout come election day.
So your word is you will defeat Heather Miller Bennett?
I will defeat Heather Miller Bennett. I will.
Any prediction on the margin?
No, not yet. You can call me again in another 2 weeks, and I'll give you the definite numbers then.
We'll hold you to that.
You're brave.
I am.
Yes, you're brave.
Why do you say that?
In 2 weeks?
I agree with you that it is true, but why do you say that?
Because in 2 weeks, you will know the numbers?
Yes.
I suppose that's a projection when she'll finish the canvas.
Oh.
Thank you very much. And not a prediction on the date, not at all.
Okay, ma'am.
Tamika Davis is the Member of Parliament for Western Hanover. She will be representing the governing Jamaica Labour Party whenever the Prime Minister decides
to ring the bell.
I was about to say time come. But thank you, Miss Davis. I appreciate your time this afternoon.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
You're welcome. And may I say, what a contrast.
Yes, that I was struck by that.
What a contrast.
You know? And you know, Cliff, I've always said sometimes, I know that obviously a constituency elects a member of parliament, sometimes on local issues. But then you also have to consider that this will be a legislator who'll be making laws for the good governance of the entire country. And sometimes when I see and hear the contrast, I pause and I wonder, what are some of the things people consider when they go to vote?
Yeah. Is that also a factor for people listing in Western Hanover?
Or is it simply their local issues, their localization?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And a nothing. Well. That's a cover story. The headlines are next.
Cover Story was brought to you by
Multilink. Roll with control. Use Multilink. Safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
Tune in to Cliff Hughes Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on June 24 when Spanish Town steps into the future. It's the official opening of the MJS Industrial and Technology Park at Lot 4 Fairy Mead Farms. This development is Jamaica's largest special economic zone, already creating 3,500 jobs and setting the stage for over 5,000 more in BPO, logistics, and food manufacturing. Be there as the Prime Minister and business leaders mark this historic moment. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on June 24. It's the official opening of the MJS Industrial and Technology Park. Catch the live stream on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Musson Group and Michael Sobrati.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is
4 minutes after 6.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening with the headlines at 6. I'm Norige Banton. Public sector workers are set to benefit from a boost in their basic salaries. Finance Minister Favour Williams has announced that eligible employees will receive up to 3 increments in their substantive salary scales for the 2025-26 financial year. In a statement on Monday, Minister Williams says this amounts to an approximate 7.5% increase. The minister says they're also moving to ensure all long-awaited increment payments for workers are met before the end of June. Some union groups, such as teachers and health workers, have grown restive over concerns that the Finance Ministry will not meet the June deadline in dispersing payments in salary increments. The June date was stipulated in an agreement with the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, JCTU. With the deadline fast approaching, President of the Jamaica Civil Service Association, Teacher Clark Griffiths, last week called for healthcare workers to be notified in advance if there will be further delays.
It is always at the last minute that they send out something to the workers. If it is that there are some challenges, they need to communicate with the worker representative about those challenges. And it is not on their time. They are given a specific time frame in which to pay. They need to pay the workers their money. The deadline for payment is the 30th of June. They still have another couple of days to go.
In a response on Monday, Minister Favour Williams noted that some ministries, departments and agencies have already begun dispersing the increases, while others are working to complete payments by the end of June. Under the new system, public sector employees will receive up to 3 increments in their prospective salary band for the financial year. The minister says the development marks a significant shift from the previous system before 2022. Murders and shootings continue to show significant decline across the island. The latest data published by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, show that murders are down by 43% up to Saturday, June 21. 322 homicides had been committed. That's 244 fewer than the 566 murders recorded in the corresponding period last year. In the same period, shootings also saw a major decline. The JCF says shootings declined by 33%, coming in at 345 up to June 21. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is commending the St. Thomas Police Division for achieving a 63% clear-up rate for murders. The Prime Minister received the report from Operations Officer in the St. Thomas Police Division, Assistant Superintendent Leonard Kinlock, during a field visit last Thursday. ASP Kinlock reported that while the number of murders, shootings, and rapes have increased by 1 compared to last year, the overall trend in accusatory crimes is moving in the positive direction. He further noted that the division has been able to curb an increase in migrant crimes migrant criminals, thanks to intensified police operations. ASP Kinloch highlighted a recent operation that resulted in 4 wanted men being apprehended. He noted that 2 of the men were from St. James. The Prime Minister praised the reduced numbers as a significant accomplishment for the division. Opposition spokesman on national security, Senator Peter Bunting, is calling for an independent sentencing commission to support legislators in setting penalties for serious crimes such as murders. Mr. Bunting says this would keep the country in line with modern, globally accepted trends.
But going forward, I think the Parliament might consider the establishment of an independent sentencing commission, as other countries have, that can guide Parliament and policymakers with evidence-based recommendations, and to ensure that our laws keep pace with fairness, proportionality, and modern penal philosophy. It can examine safety valve provisions, enabling judges to depart from the mandatory minimum where the offender played a minor role, acted under duress, or shows clear potential for rehabilitation.
Senator Bunting made the recommendation during his contribution to the debate on mandatory minimum penalties for murder in the Senate on Friday. Under the new legislation, the mandatory minimum penalty proposed for non-capital murder is 30 years. Where the offence committed is capital murder, the term of years to be deemed as life imprisonment will move from 30 years to 50 years. While not entirely opposed to mandatory minimum penalties, Senator Bunting called for more to be done to curb crime through social intervention.
And above all, we need to stop pretending that sentencing alone can fix what is broken. We must invest in community-based diversion programs, youth rehabilitation, skills training, and restorative justice. We must address the root causes of crime, not just its symptoms. A just society is not one where the poor are punished swiftly and severely, while the privileged walk free. A just society is one where punishment fits not just the crime, but the circumstances, the offender, and the greater good.
Peter Bunting, opposition spokesman on national security. Those were the headlines at 6. I'm Nora Gay Banton. Sports is next.
We are the best at what we do. At Hose Assembly and Supply Limited, we supply hose fittings and tools. We guarantee we can't be beaten when price and quality are combined. You brand us the Hose and Tool Boss because we deliver the most effective industrial solutions. Come in and experience the joy of shopping with Hose Assembly and Supply Limited. Call us 876-923-3936 or visit 173 Hagley Park Road, 2 Charlesworth Crescent or Montego Bay Trade Center. Hose Assembly and Supply Limited. More than just hoses. Now open every Sunday.
For over 30 years, Chris and Charles has been financing your goals, dreams, creating your great moments. Celebrate the occasion with us. Borrow $1 million, pay less than $25,000 monthly, and get 30% off your processing fees. No guarantor needed. Call 876-920-4189 or WhatsApp 876-838-9028. Conditions apply. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
You've led teams, built businesses, and influenced change. Now, lead research that transforms your field. Apply now for the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean's Doctor of Business Administration or Doctor of Professional Practice. Flexible, research-based, and designed for working professionals. All UCC programs are accredited by the University Council of Jamaica. Learn more and apply online at ucc.edu.jm. UCC, fostering leadership and innovation.
Delicious meals, poolside cocktails, right on the beach. Disconnect from your daily worries and reconnect with the one you love. There's no paradise like home. This summer, enjoy a romantic all-inclusive escape at Couples Tower Isle, Couples Sans Souci, Couples Negril, or Couples Swept Away from $295 USD per night. Take advantage of this offer today by visiting Couples Resorts at couples.com. Conditions apply.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. J3's President Garth Gale says he's saddened by the decision by 4 Jamaican athletes to start the process of switching allegiance to Turkey. Olympic discus champ and record holder Roger Stoner, Paris shot put bronze medalist Rajendra Campbell, world and Olympic long jump silver medalist Wayne Pinnock, and the triple jump star Jaden Hibbert have all decided to wear the colors of the West Asian country. Gale was speaking publicly about the move for the first time.
Very saddened. Saddened because these are Jamaicans who would have attended school. They understand the good and bad of Jamaica. But they know Jamaica is caring, and to now go into a new area, a new hemisphere, so to speak, where you won't be able to be close to family members, must have been a hard decision for them.
Gale says he wished the athletes had consulted with the J3As or even members of their management team to discuss the matter, but he admitted that they would still be powerless to stop them given the massive offer from Turkey.
There are so many persons both on their management team that they could have easily have spoken with to let us know. We can't compete. No way, no how can we ever compete with that. Not even a country can compete with such offerings. And so, while I'm sad and I won't see them jumping or throwing in Jamaican colors, I will greet them when and wherever I do come into contact with them on the international circuit and competitions. So I wish them all the best.
And Gale says he's yet to receive any documentation from World Athletics regarding the move, but he says he'll not stand in the way of the athletes when the official request forms arrive on his desk.
I know World Athletics will be sending in short order to us. We will be combing our network to see if they have sent anything to us, because we have been watching the network or the communication lines with World Athletics from the outset of the news, and so we will deal with it accordingly.
You'll sign off on it if it comes.
Why would we not? Why would we not? This is their choice. It's their choice. We may not be happy. As I said, we are sad, but what else can we do?
J3's boss Garth Gale speaking to Nationwide Sports today. Meanwhile, over 720 athletes have entered for the J3's Puma National Athletics Championships June 26 to 29 at the National Stadium. The number is well above the 647 who participated in last year's staging. 47 of those entered this year are from other countries who will use the event to achieve qualifying times for their respective disciplines ahead of the World Championships in September. 104 events are on the schedule over the 4 days, the highest in the championship's history. Chairman of the organizing committee, Luddy Watt, says the 4 days could mirror the World Championships.
If you look at the entries that will come in, you'll see that there's an exciting array of events and number of athletes, outstanding athletes. So if you look at the men's and the women 100 meters, it will be like a major championship because we have quality. So what you'll be having is quality event, quality competition, and very less expensive cost structure. So everybody should be able to come.
Ludlow Watts' former national sprint champ Elaine Thompson-Hera is not on the list of those entered for any of the sprints, but her longtime rivals Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and Shericka Jackson are. Meanwhile, the J3As has confirmed they have identified 3 meets at which they'll attempt to qualify the 4x400 meters mixed relay team, the 4x100 meters for men, and the 4x400 for women ahead of the World Championships. The first will be in Barbados on July 5. The second will be at the London Diamond League in England, July 19, and the NACAC Championship, August 15 to 17. The deadline to achieve entry standards is August 24. West Indies of women beat South Africa by 6 wickets in the third and deciding T20 International at a 3-W's Oval in Barbados on Monday to take the series 2-1. Batting first, South Africa made 147 for 6 of their 20 overs. Miani Smith made an undefeated 59 and Laura Woolsdorf 28. Karishma Ramnarak and Afi Fletcher backed 2 wickets apiece bowling for Windies. In response, the Caribbean women made 148 for 4 inside 19 overs. Their captain, Hayley Matthews, led the way, 65 of 50 balls. Shermaine Campbell weighed in with 42. Marizanne Kapp picked up 2 wickets bowling for South Africa. And the coach of the West Indies, all-format coach for West Indies, Darren Sammy, is banking on his players to produce the goods when they take on Australia in the 3-test series. The first game, the Kensington Oval in Bridgetown, Barbados, and it starts this Wednesday. Sammy says they want to just the thought of playing in the Caribbean to drive fear into the Aussies.
We're confident we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't train the way we train, plan the way we plan if we were not confident that we could go out and win cricket matches. And that's what it's all about, building that culture, being clear, communicate well, and having that confidence. Because you will need all of that to play when you compete against the top teams in the world.
And Sammy says his players are focused and ready for the job at hand.
For us, is focusing on our preparation, understanding the challenges that we will be facing, which is the opposition, and coming up with the game plan that we back ourselves to execute. So Australia, whether with Steve Smith, obviously they're really strong, but without him, they're equally capable of winning test matches. You know, the system has shown and proven over the last decade that they're one of the top teams in the world, and that's why I'm in the number one for a reason.
That's Darren Sammy. 4 members of Champions Excelsior High have been named in an all-grey Shield 14-member squad to face an all-greys Headley selection in 2 limited overs day-night encounter at Sabina Park. The first game on Tuesday starting at 2. The first game, a 50-over encounter for the John Pottinger Cup, will be played on Tuesday starting at 2, as I mentioned, while the second, the T20 affair on Wednesday for the Don Webby Trophy. The matches will have 2 objectives, actually 3 objectives. To honour the legacy of Don Webby and his contribution to cricket, particularly at the schoolboy level, and to mark the return of the fixture to the calendar, and the third, to test the newly installed lights at Sabina Park ahead of the Tour of Australia. Champion Stets also have 4 selections on the Grace Headley aggregation. Winning coach Carl Wright of Stets will be in charge of the All Headley team, while Kirkland Bailey of Excelsior is coach of the All Grace Shield team. Jamaica's under-21 men and women's beach volleyball teams failed to finish among the medals at the recent Kazova World Championship qualification in the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands won the women's title after beating Barbados 2-1, while Barbados was awarded the men's trophy after an injury forced the Cayman Islands team to retire. Demia Sibley's and Brandy McCarthy represented Jamaica in the women's category. Ithran Softly and Lovelet Blake were the Jamaican representatives on the men's side. 17-year-old Sibley's was competing in her first international competition.
It was very fun. It was a very nice experience. It's very put together. It was my first tournament, so it was a good first time.
And Sibley's, who's known for her indoor game, says it has been difficult making the transition to beach volleyball.
It was very hard, especially no volleying and just 2 people and the sand and the movement and the other environmental conditions. So it was hard.
Demia Sibley's, the teams also participated in the Norseka Under-23 tournament, which is set to end today. Blake says their tour has been a learning experience so far.
This weekend was a weekend where we experienced a lot. It's our first competition in the under-23 bracket, and we played in under-21 before. So it's a lot going on, and we have to be adjusting to the sun, the heat, everything. But overall, I believe we learned a lot this weekend. Might not have been the results that we wanted.
That's Lovelet Blake. That's sports.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
6:22.
In Jamaica, your rights are protected by our Constitution. From the right to education to freedom of expression, every citizen deserves respect and dignity. But remember, with rights come responsibilities. Let's uplift and respect each other and stand against injustice. Together, we can make Jamaica a better place for ourselves and future generations. Know your rights. Embrace your responsibilities. This message was brought to you by the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs.
Get ready for the Magic 5K Summer Run Walk presented by Lorna Auto Prep. Join us on June 29, 2025 at Lorna Auto Prep for an exciting 5K race starting at 7 a.m. It's fun, fitness, and community all in one. Early bird registration is just $1,200. Groups of 10 or more pay $1,200 each, and regular entry is $1,500. Sign up now at LornaAutoPrepJA.com/5K. Run for health, win for life.
The Faculty of Law at the UWI Mona invites you to their 11th annual symposium under the theme Law and Justice in the Caribbean, Pathways to Development. Saturday, June 28 and Sunday, June 29 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel or attend online. CLPD credits available. Hear riveting discussions on AI, digitization and the law, gender, sexual harassment and ethics, environmental and climate justice, CARICOM law and the CCJ. Register now at www.mona.uwi.edu/law or call 876-550-2680.
Taste it, eat it, drink it, applaud it. The 26th staging of the Jamaica Observer Table Talk Food Awards, the Caribbean's premier culinary event, powered by MasterCard, takes place Thursday, June 26th on the East Lawns of King's House. Get your tickets at Starbucks at AC Marriott, Starbucks Ligny, Starbucks Waterloo, Signature Boutique, Unit 9, Legal Business Centre, 31 Upper Waterloo Road, Uncorked 2, Constant Spring Road, Uncorked Barbican, Sovereign North, Uncorked Ochi, Draxhall, Uncorked West, Fairview Shopping Centre, Resort Way by Ereline, Shop 4 Progressive Shopping Centre, Kingston, Cafe Dolce, 114 Constant Spring Road, Kingston, Fromage Bistro, 8 Hillcrest Avenue, Kingston, and of course the offices of the Jamaica Observer in Kingston and Montego Bay. Adults 18 years and over. Drink responsibly.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening, and welcome to Public Opinion. It's the start of a new week. I'm Robianne Williams. A special good evening to those of you who are on our YouTube platform. Thank you so much for tuning in. We invite you to weigh in live in the comments section on today's Public Opinion. Both political parties are gearing up. On your marks, set 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Yeah? Both political parties, we've seen over the weekend several meetings here, there, everywhere. Yeah, really election period we're in. So let's get to the Public Opinion. The People's National Party's PNP prospective candidate in Western Hanover, Heather Miller Bennett, says the party will not be affected by the decision of two high-profile former comrades to switch allegiance to the governing Jamaica Labour Party. The two defectors are Craig Oates, a former policeman who was rejected by the PNP in his bid for the Eastern Hanover seat, and Kenroy Kalame, the man who failed to get the nod to represent the PNP in the Caldwell division in last year's local government elections. Now, this is not new. People have been crossing the floor, whether to go over on the JLP side or the PNP side, yeah? So we want to put the question to you, what's your view of political representatives who switch sides? What do you make of these political representatives who switch sides, cross the floor as we would know it? I'll start with the comments on Facebook. Let me see if I can get to those comments real quick. Let me start on Facebook. Shanice Comfort is saying they see the ship is sinking, so they have to jump ship. For Salome Paul, a lot of people have said both parties are the same. I really don't believe so. Right now, one is progressing, trying to meet the needs of the people, while the other clearly has no plan. Any ambitious politician will gravitate towards the one making meaningful changes. And those are the moves being made at the moment. They choose Jamaica. All right. Audley Phillips saying, just like the athletes, politicians switch sides when they see opportunities. People will always gravitate to areas where they think that the grass is greener. No pun intended. Politics is dynamic, says Audley Phillip. If you examine both political parties, several members were on the opposite side at one time or another. Like I said, this is not a new phenomenon of any sort. People have been known over the years to cross the floor. Nadia Dockery is saying they choose Jamaica. Winston, it means they saw prosperity in the JLP and they're eager to get some. Georgiana Brightson, if one side into the bottomless pit, why go with them? All right, Michael Vaughn saying, just as how we have floating voters, nothing is fundamentally wrong with having floating candidates. It, however, suggests a confused mind. Natalie Winter is saying to us that individuals have what is called freedom of choice. So they have a right to exercise and express it. Let's see what really is the motivation, she says, behind this, or is really a true expression of how they feel. Judith Thorpe giving us her opinion on this one. She says it's not a big deal. Anything else? Okay. People switch schools, partners, churches, jobs, you name it. In politics, people who switch are those who are feeling out of grace, fallen rather out of grace with their party. All right, that makes sense. Let's see. Patricia Grant is saying that both sides switched, but it's the first I see so many PNP switching to the JLP. For Rhonda Petgrave, I don't think anything wrong with it because people run to things that good. All right, let me see if I can get to some of the comments on Instagram. Don't come at me. There are a lot of comments and I have to be sieving through them. On Instagram, Shirley Augustine saying, great move. Chrissy, if you want to be a representative and your party not going in the right direction, switch yes. Lisa here saying it is their right, and if the policies or principles are no longer the same, then it's your choice. Basically, you're saying if the goalposts move, yeah, the goals of the party and probably your goals don't align, then you're saying it's okay to make the switch if necessary. What's your view of political representatives who switch sides? That's the public opinion. Lily Jamaica is saying can't be trusted. Once them switch side, they can't be trusted. One Leopard Dawn, it's their constitutional right to choose any political side they want. Chaden also saying nothing is wrong, no die-heartedness. Saying no to die-heartedness. For Joe Cam, he considers them as opportunists. Yeah, they are opportunists. Okay, yeah. 6 or 1 half does not the other, says Melly. I see what you did there. All right, on our X platform, Portia Prince is saying there should be a grace period prior to joining another party. I am not for it, especially what is happening now. Only tweet, people should not be diehard with politics. Choose whichever side is better for the country. No point in supporting a party that fights every positive thing that is benefiting the people of the country, says Only Tweet. It's their constitutional right. That's according to Pacha. Let me see what our YouTubers are saying. What's your view of political representatives who switch sides? What do you make of them? I've read some responses, so let's see, what do you make of them? The comments are coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Let me see if I can get this one. I don't know the lady, but from distance she sounds like her leader. Okay. All right. So that's unrelated right there. The candidates are switching. Let me see if I can get that one. Becca Grant saying that the candidates are switching because the party too chaka. All right. Donovan Combray, he's saying if switch for a good cause, fine, but not for revenge. Yeah. Norman Collins, Jamaica has a dynamic political democracy for years, and so individuals have a right to switch to one party or the other, and it all comes down to the party which seems most winnable. Yeah? Yeah. That's right on point, Norman Collins. It's a political democracy, a dynamic one that we're in for many years now. We've seen many people cross the floor. Yeah, Marlon is saying, if you said PNP, okay, all right, I think that's one is unrelated. Simple needs are not being met, says Erica Barnett. Yeah, Philip Jackson saying they're heading for a lifeboat. Their ship sinking. For Donald Martin, he's saying leadership matters. Yeah. Orinthia Campbell telling us that nobody runs from good. Yeah. If it good, then go stay. Ain't nobody gonna run from good. Everton Williams, we are indeed in a democracy, coming from Everton right there. Everyone will go for better, indeed. Like if you have a job and you're going to leave the job, you know, so you're not going to get nothing worse. You're going to go for better. All right. Thank you guys so much for participating in Public Opinion, getting the wrap-up signal. The Business Report is up next.
Public Opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is
6:33. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Nationwide's Business Report. I'm Robianne Williams. Education technology firm Edufocal has posted significantly improved results for the first quarter of 2025. The company reported an operating profit of $5.6 million, reversing a $12.6 million loss from the same period last year. Administrative expenses dropped by 62%, and net losses narrowed sharply, down 94% to $1.34 million. The company says the improvement reflects tighter cost controls and strategic investment in new technologies. Further afield, oil prices have fallen nearly 4% despite an escalation of the conflict in the Middle East. Over the weekend, the United States bombed nuclear sites in Iran, which prompted a retaliatory attack by Iran on a U.S. base in Qatar on Monday. In response, the price of Brent crude oil rose to its highest in 5 months after markets opened in London, but it fell back by mid-morning. Oil traded in the U.S. also fell sharply by around 7%. And finally, in the currency markets at the close of trading today, it cost 160 Jamaican dollars and 93 cents to buy $1, 216 Jamaican dollars and 32 cents to buy £1 British pound, and 117 Jamaican dollars and 96 cents to buy the Canadian dollar. And that's the Business Report. I'm Robianne Williams. Good evening.
Looking for superior quality transportation from an international award-winning provider? Well, look no further. Choose Island Car Rentals, Jamaica's leading car rental company, setting the standard for ground transportation in Jamaica. For over 50 years, Island Car Rentals has been your trusted partner for reliable, top-quality vehicles. But we're more than just a car rental company. Need an airport transfer at any hour? Heading out of town and want to travel in style with a private chauffeur? Need a truck to rent for business or personal use? Or maybe you need a customized shuttle or tour for a large or a small group? Whatever your transportation need, Island Car Rentals has you covered. Call us today at 876-926-8012 or 876-929-5875 or visit www.islandcarrentals.com to book your next trip. Because Island people take better care of you.
Are your devices accurate? Are they calibrated? Even small errors can lead to big problems. That's why Jamaicans trust the Bureau of Standards Jamaica. From food to fuel, health to hardware, our metrology and testing division provides world-class calibration and measurement services to keep your devices precise and your business meeting global standards. Whether you're weighing goods, monitoring temperature, or relying on the accuracy of devices, we get it right every time. Our advanced equipment and experts help you move with confidence. Call 876-618-1534 or visit bsj.org.jm. The Bureau of Standards Jamaica. From lab to market, the power of precision, powering accuracy, ensuring safety.
You want to win? Then just bet. Bet on the game, no stress, no sweat. And win big in the Wanna Bet Just Bet promotion. Spend $1,500 or more on one Just Bet ticket and complete the entry form at promotions.supremegames.com for your chance to win. Third place gets Beats by Dre. Second place gets an iPhone 15 and AirPods Pro. And first place gets a 65-inch TV and a soundbar. Promotion runs May 16 to July 20, 2025. Grand draw July 25, 2025. Authorized under Section 58. Of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
We can light up your world with the rays of the sun, putting pure energy in the palm of your hand.
For over 20 years, Fosrich has been putting a world of energy in your hands. Now we bring you big savings with our line of solar energy products and LED lighting. Financing now available for all your home and commercial retrofit projects. Consult with our in-house staff or certified professional engineers for all your electrical needs. Fosrich Lifestyle. It's electric. Fosrich, your energy world.
The race to 32.
Nationwide 90 FM's coverage of the 2025 general elections. Coming soon.
Tune in to Cliff Hughes Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on June 24 when Spanish Town steps into the future. It's the official opening of the MJS Industrial and Technology Park at Lot 4 Ferrymead Farms. This development is Jamaica's largest special economic zone, already creating 3,500 jobs and setting the stage for over 5,000 more in BPO, logistics, and food manufacturing. Be there as the Prime Minister and business leaders mark this historic moment. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on June 24. It's the official opening of the MJS Industrial and Technology Park. Catch the live stream on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Musson Group and Michael Subrati.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
In today's fast-paced world, standards are the silent force behind the quality, safety, and reliability we often take for granted. From the food we eat to the buildings we enter. Since 1969, the Bureau of Standards Jamaica BSJ has led the charge, shaping our national quality infrastructure under the Standards Act. Whether it's measuring fuel, calibrating medical devices, or ensuring business competitiveness, standards matter. That's why we're proud to bring you Standards Matters every Tuesday at 8:10 a.m. during Nationwide This Morning. This engaging series educates, empowers, and explores how standards drive national development and open doors to global markets. That's Standards Matters every Tuesday at 8:10 a.m. during Nationwide This Morning. Stay tuned.
Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Nora Gay Banton. Weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
It's Monday, get over your blues. Or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The E-Zone is here for you. With this thing, Honeybee.
And Karim Boyatings
from 3 to 5 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
We've got your entertainment news.
Then we want to hear your views. Why you said?
Jump in the mix.
Or the hot seat.
Don't miss our brain busters.
Or the crazy giveaways.
Let's talk fashion.
Send us your outfit of the day. Ooh, cutesy. Very demure.
Are you looking for love?
Come on one of our blind dates. Send your request to ezoneblindates@gmail.com. That's ezoneblindates@gmail.com.
And stay tuned for your confessions.
These are my confessions. Share them with us at ezoneconfessions@yahoo.com. I mean, is this planet Earth?
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check. Either way, it's got a buzz.
And a bugger thing.
Ow! Ow!
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, by God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path. Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
How certain are you that you're taking proper care of your pets? How often do you take them to the vet? Just as we need annual checkups with our doctors, most pets need regular checkups too. Owning and caring for a family pet doesn't have to be a difficult or burdensome experience. Nationwide 90 FM has an exciting feature called Pets World that will help you take better care of your pets. Join Nationwide 90 FM every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning as we take you into the do's and don'ts of caring for your pets. That's Pets World every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
It's the weekend and the youth are taking over the airwaves. Yes, we are the new voices and faces of the Talk Up You radio show. The voice of the Jamaican youth right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
After a busy week of work and school, come and wine with Jamaica's #1 youth radio show.
We're bringing you entertainment, fun facts, and staying true to youth development and advocacy.
Catch the action each and every Saturday as we roll out buzzy segments. What say you?
Youth for chat.
Life skills.
Global Connect.
And Bust the Youth.
That's the Talk Up Youth radio show. Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth. Don't miss it.
Good evening, good evening. It's 15 minutes going up to 7. I'm Cliff Hughes.
Good evening, listeners. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
Well, one of the constituencies being closely watched is Northeast Manchester, yes, where it's been in the news because of the lengthy delay by the Labour Party, the governing Jamaica Labour Party, in naming a candidate. Well, it has one now. Former Ambassador, now Senator, Audrey Marks is the prospective JLP candidate for Northeast Manchester. She says the development of the constituency's ecotourism potential will be among her first priorities if she is elected later this year.
So that drive through Northeast Manchester, start looking at how we can develop this, we can do this, we can do all kinds of things. I see that this place has a natural potential for ecotourism. And when I was discussing it with Costa Mayor, we had some of the same ideas. In this constituency, we are the center of the island. The highest point in Manchester is the center of the island over there in Pike. We have caves, we have a lot of attractions that we haven't made use of. So I started to think some big development plans.
Ambassador Marks is expected to face off against the PNP's Valentin Wint in the closely watched race to replace Audley Shaw. Shaw has held the seat for the JLP since 1993. Now, the PNP is eyeing Northeast Manchester as a possible pickup in their quest to gain 18 seats to form government. Of course, they'll have to hold on to the 14 they now have.
The JLP is vowing to strongly defend the constituency. Marks was tapped to represent the governing party following that protracted delay. She says she accepted the call to enter representational politics in order to serve her country.
My first and biggest desire is to serve Jamaica. When I was asked to represent Northeast Manchester, I see this as an opportunity to serve my country by ensuring that I work with you to bring home the seat to the Jamaica Labour Party. Because if the Prime Minister Angela Holness has a vision to transform this country in a way that we cannot imagine.
That's Ambassador Audrey Marks, the JLP's standard bearer in Northeast Manchester. You know, Cliff, just before we go to the guest, I watched the ambassador's speech to the workers. First of all, I wasn't clear if all those people in the audience were workers because it was quite a crowd.
That's what I gathered. It was
quite a crowd. It looked like a rally to me.
Mm-hmm.
But what struck me was that the ambassador has seemingly been able to bring out some big names to support her candidacy. Danville Walker was there.
He's a campaign manager.
Record was there on stage as well.
Oh. Record?
Christopher Record, I believe is his name. Is it Chris
Oh.
Record?
From eGov or
Is
the
it Chris
computer
Record?
man?
Yes, the technology. Yes.
Technology.
So that struck me, and then she listened a lot. So she spoke, she outlined her vision, and then she called on the supporters. Yes, Christopher Record. She called on the supporters to talk to her about what they've been experiencing, how they're feeling. And one of my colleagues in the newsroom was saying that the speech almost had a motherly feel to it. You know, she brought that touch of a mother that I know you feel like you haven't been heard. I'm here to listen to you. And I thought she did well. She did well.
Well, I gather one of the leading figures in the constituency said that he's not calling her Muma. Yeah? She's Auntie Audrey.
Well, it could be mommy, it could be auntie, but she certainly had that that warmth to her.
Yes.
And obviously she's not natural to the political stage.
Yes.
An ambassador and a politician, two completely different things. But she seems to be taking to it like duck to water.
Yeah.
We have 3 JLP supporters with us from the Craighead Division, Sheila Baines, also from the Craighead Division, Anthony Thompson, and from the Walderston Division, Ralston Walters. Good evening.
All of which are in Northeast Manchester.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
Sheila Baines, let me start with you. The JLP is putting up Audrey Marks to be your next member of parliament. What's your reaction to her candidacy?
Okay, good evening again. I must say that I have been on this program about 2 times because I was supporting Omar Miller. However, on getting Miss Audrey Marks, affectionately now she is Auntie Audrey. It's a complete different thing. Because she is a person who we see and I see as a woman with a tender touch. One who is loving and lovable. A woman who listens and acts. A woman with vision and a woman on a mission.
And you say Auntie Audrey. Why? Why is she Auntie?
Auntie Audrey, because she listens just like a good mother. You know, in Jamaica, once you're respected and a person who is affectionate to your people or your family, you're referred to as auntie. Auntie, showing love and care. When person respect you, they refer to you as auntie.
Anthony Thompson, how about you?
Good evening, Mr. Cliff Hughes. Good evening, Mr. Ricardo Brooks.
Good evening, sir.
Guest. Yeah, I feel I've shared the same sentiments as Sheila is saying. I only spoke to her about 5 or so minutes. And I tell you, I just felt a wave of change running through my whole body. Through the whole entire time that I've been living in Manchester, I have never had such a... What she was saying to me didn't have... it's the first I'm feeling that from a candidate, or I should say my MP in waiting, to be honest.
What did she say to you?
Well, to be honest, I was there with my kids, and, you know, she showed a lot of warmth. You know, it didn't feel like I was talking to a stranger. It didn't feel like I was talking to a stranger.
She was a natural communicator.
She was not, she's easy to talk to. Very easy. She's very welcoming to all.
What about you, Ralston Walters, from the Walderston Division?
Yeah, good evening, everybody.
Good
well,
evening.
I would say the same this year sentiment with my colleague, but after hearing about her coming, I have gone ahead and I've done some background checks on her, and based on what I see, and by able to talk to her and see her, as my colleague said earlier on, I have that feeling and that there's something like a magnet that has been drawing me to her, and I believe that she is a good choice for us. And I believe there's going to be something great in Northeast Manchester coming from our anti-Marks.
Sheila Baines, are you all just putting on a united front because you want to project to Jamaicans that all is well in Northeast Manchester? Because you all seem to be singing from the same hymn book. Are you just trying to convince Jamaicans that all is well?
All is well. All is well. All is well. We're not putting on a face. We're not putting on any face. Yesterday at the workers' meeting, to be honest, you had a few persons who were not workers, but they were anxious to meet Miss Marks, so they came out. But majority of the persons there are workers, and everyone was united. The council, Mr. Miller, Mr. Mikulski, and the team, everybody united, and we had a wonderful time, a purposeful meeting. So it's just something natural. It's just natural.
Are all three of you workers of the party?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are workers.
So you all must be very happy because I hear you're getting water tanks, was it?
Yes, water tanks, because we suffer from problems with water in some parts of Manchester. And as I said before, that Miss Marks listens and she acts. So she listens to what we need and she acts. And this is one of the great needs in the constituency, and therefore some water tanks will be issued to the persons who are greatest at need in this time.
Yes, she announced, Cliff, that she's going to start a drive to ensure that the party workers first get water tanks to address their water needs, and that next Sunday, I think she said, would be their award ceremony where the Prime Minister will go down there to award the hardworking and long-standing party workers. She announced that.
Very important. Well, let me ask you, beginning with you, Anthony Thompson of the Craighead Division. Yes? The Northeast Manchester has been without the leadership of a parliamentary representative for some time, because it's well known that your sitting MP, Mr. Shaw, has not been in the best of health. Yes? And Mr. Val Wint from the People's National Party has been busy in the constituency for quite a while now. Yes? Is it too far gone to pull it back now, this close to the election, Mr. Thompson?
No, it's not far gone. We have a very hardworking councillor in Omar Miller, and you know that he has been vibrant on the campaign trail. He wanted to get to be our next member of parliament, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But truth be told, Northeast is a JFP constituency. Craighead is the strongest division in Northeast Manchester. It's not far gone. Yesterday, at the meeting, I was overwhelmed. I was very overwhelmed with the support. And I tell you what, this whole race that we had to choose our MP between Mr. Omar Miller and Mr. Mikulski, I see it as a very positive thing moving forward. How
so?
How so?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Omar Miller.
Uh-huh.
You know, in races, they're going to always have divisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are going to take this side and they're going to take that side. But what we see now is that Mr. Mikulski has his team, his supporters are strongly behind him. Mr. Omar Miller has his team, his supporters are firmly behind him, and everybody is behind anti-Audrey. So it's a very strong wave I see moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I see a very strong wave. I am predicting that we're going to poll over 10,000 votes for this election. Trust me. And yesterday, I just saw the fire just be ignited. I could see the fire in the supporters' eye. They wanted to meet her. They wanted to get it out of the way. And from yesterday evening, it's business time.
Oh.
If you were to poll 10,000 votes, that would be about 4,000 more than Audley Shaw did in 2020.
Yeah, but that was a very low turnout, right?
Yes,
Remember?
it was.
And so you think you can get to 10,000?
Yes, we can.
Tell me something. In the time where there was the uncertainty about who would be the candidate, was the political work of the constituency continuing, though?
Yes, Mr. Miller was doing his thing. Miller was doing his thing. I think the one thing that I didn't see happen was the distribution of the 150 black tanks with the PM allocated to all the member of parliament. But everything was being upheld. His office was, Mr. Shaw's office was still up and running. You know, he had his secretary and all his staff there was still doing the work of the member of parliament.
Yes. But tell me, Ralston Walderston, how did that go in the local election of last year?
Well, based on the local government election, and I believe, as I said earlier, I believe that's the reason why the PNP feel as if they control or they have Northeast Manchester. What happened in the local government election, it wasn't that, I would not say that the PNP go out and vote out the Laborites. We had two candidates that was there for a long time. And I believe they, to me, and what I gather on the ground, after going all around, people see them as they were complacent. And because of that, people withheld from go out and vote. I can speak directly from my former councillor, Leroy Mitchell, Lizzie. Because Lizzie and I, we're very close. And I listened to the people on the road. They decided, they said they'll not go out. And even now, many of them are regret that they did not, that they withheld the voting. So it was just that what it is. But right now, where we are now, I can, with all the assurance that Northeast Manchester will remain in the column of the Jamaica Labour Party come next few months from now.
Yes. Given the kind of energy I'm getting from the three of you, I want to raise something because Northeast Manchester has provided the JLP leadership of the parish of Manchester through Audley Shaw for many, many years. Yes? And the JLP as an organization has slipped. Yes? In Manchester. Yes? Rhoda Crawford is under pressure in central Manchester. In South Manchester, Robert Chin had to be replaced. The long time it took the party to name a successor to Shaw, the party has slipped. And do you see Sheila Baines in Audrey Marks, the kind of candidate who can become the party leader or more influential, candidate in Manchester? Because now the party is said to be weak in terms of its leadership in the parish.
Yes, Mr. Hughes, I definitely see Miss Marks as that candidate. As I said before, she's a woman of action. She listens. She has leadership qualities, a woman on a mission and a woman with clear vision. She has some excellent plans for the constituency because I would have heard earlier where she speaks about ecotourism. That is one of the key things that I had, and I have been saying that for the longest while. We have some natural attractions here, and she speaks highly of delivering that. She speaks highly about getting youth in engaging activities. She speaks about youth development. She speaks about getting some buildings and some government-owned properties that were not being in use for a long time. All of those she speaks of, and she begins so far to act upon some of these. Because, for example, the Long Pond property that we had at Sports Complex for the longest while that it has not been used. Northeast Manchester have been crying out for that for the longest while to utilize it. And you know what? She comes, and this place will be used coming up in July, where they have the first football tournament for the constituency, for the youth now to play football and earn top prizes. She speaks about the development of the old AMC building. She acts upon this. She's looking about water supplies, so many things in a short time. And we know from her actions in the just few weeks that she has been here that she will definitely deliver. She has the quality for any leadership.
Okay. Well, it's going to be interesting to see the outcome, and in particular, how the rest of Manchester go. Yeah?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Before we
Thank you. Sure, go ahead, Ralston.
Yes, regards to, I believe the PMP have been taken off guard. And reason being, I believe they were expecting for we to have problems regards to the selection of candidates because they were looking for probably roadblocking and disgruntled. But even it struck me as well to know how quick Mr. Miller and Mr. McCullough could come together with both teams and could be a force. And this is it. We don't get what we want, but we cannot allow for the PNP to control North East Manchester. So let us settle everything and we come. And that was evident Sunday in Christiana.
Yes.
The unity that is there, because it will check all around the country now, the problem regards to who don't get the choice and stuff like that. You don't see that in North East Manchester. We don't block any road. We don't decide to stay away. We come together.
Yeah.
So I believe that will take us to victory in the few weeks coming.
So that unity will be important.
So Mr. Wind coming so close again to lose again. This would be his third loss.
Third.
Yeah, it will.
Oh. All right. Ralston Walters, Anthony Thompson, Sheila Baines. All the best.
Okay. Thank you.
Just want to read this from a listener, Cliff. Audrey has the Portia effect. Same way you feel in Portia's presence. Woman will melt your heart away. We'll see.
Yes.
5 minutes after 7, we're going to take the break, and after the break, it will be time for the Watchman and then your calls.
Multi-link, access every time, everywhere I go. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use Multi-link. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere. Spend while supporting the economy. Look for the Multi-link logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my Multi-link?
The Watchman. Exploring issues shaping our society, government, and business. Provocative, unconventional. Dr. Henley Morgan is The Watchman.
Good evening. The truth about the murder statistics. Known more for my verbosity than brevity, it's not often that the Watchman is left speechless. One such occasion was on entering the recently held Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF Transformation 2.0 Expo at the National Arena. Not only was I at a loss for words, the experience took my breath away. It started from the parking lot. Young uniformed officers courteously directed drivers to vacant spaces. Unusual for events at Jamaica's premier sports complex, one could park without bother and leave one's vehicle with a sense of security. I suppose, knowing the nature of the event, the hustlers chose to take the time off. Enter the facility, and the expectation grew for something world-class, usually associated with the athletics track at the National Stadium next door. From the meet and greet to the 40 displays, armored personnel carrier, drones, forensic technology, all presented in an interactive and engaging manner so that even the youngest children, who were out in their numbers, were having a ball. Most impressive to me was the new breed of human resources the organization seems to be attracting. Gone is the caricature of the barely literate, unkempt copy, used as fodder for local cartoonists such as the Gleaners Leandro. Jamaica's brightest and best were on display. It left one with questions. Is this the JCF? Is this Jamaica? Am I dreaming? But to what end is all of this? One might reasonably ask. Prominently displayed for all to see on entering the arena was a sign extolling the reduction of murders by 44% compared to last year. Let's be factual about that number, which every well-thinking Jamaican is ecstatic about. First reality check. Should the unthinkable of reducing the number of murders to 900 for 2025 be achieved, that would translate to a rate of 30 murders for every 100,000 persons in the populace. Half of what it was in 2004. Impressive, until one considers the global average intentional murder rate, which according to the United Nations Office on Crime and Drugs is 7 murders per 100,000. The comparative figure for the Caribbean as a whole is 15 per 100,000. Second reality check. The crime-fighting strategy being employed in Jamaica is almost purely a policing strategy. The troubling question is, without attacking the root causes of crime, especially murder, will the JCF by itself be able to hold the gain? Much less bring the rate of homicides down to the average for the Caribbean and the world? While applauding the government for the increased investments in security generally, and the JCF in particular, and acknowledging the results in crime reduction this has produced over the last 3 years, one must at the same time point out there is a lot more work left to be done. Think on these things.
Produced by Agency for Inner City Renewal, AIR, and recorded in the Jamming Studio Trenchtown, a breath of fresh air bringing change to the inner city.
The future belongs to the bold, to those ready to realign with purpose and prosperity. Realign 2025 connects Africa and the Caribbean, where innovation meets investment. Speakers include Senator the Honorable Audrey Marks, Nigerian Ambassador Janet Olisa, David Mullings, Anthony Hilton, and Christopher Denny. For investors, access to high-potential ventures. For SMEs, funding partnerships and global market entry. June 25 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Realign with your destiny. Register now at entrapartners.com/re-align.
Sharing the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
Plug into the sun with Peak Energy Solutions. We are your affordable provider for everything solar. Grid tie or off-grid solar P systems, solar air conditioners, panels, lithium batteries, solar supplies, and installation. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hills, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar.
Make a toast to your future. The JTA Cooperative Credit Union is by your side. All educators, the best is what you deserve.
We'll keep your dreams alive.
Competitive loans to help you grow.
We'll take you higher.
Great returns on your savings. A bright future is in the making.
Build the best you with the best credit union. We are committed to serving you.
The JTA Cooperative Credit Union, serving our members, impacting lives positively. Looking for superior quality transportation from an international award-winning provider? Well, look no further. Choose Island Car Rentals, Jamaica's leading car rental company, setting the standard for ground transportation in Jamaica. For over 50 years, Island Car Rentals has been your trusted partner for reliable, top-quality vehicles. But we're more than just a car rental company. Need an airport transfer at any hour? Heading out of town and want to travel in style with a private chauffeur? Need a truck to rent for business or personal use? Or maybe you need a customized shuttle or tour for a large or a small group? Whatever your transportation need, Island Car Rentals has you covered. Call us today at 876-926-8012 or 876-929-5875 or visit www.islandcarrentals.com to book your next trip. Because Island people take better care of you.
14 minutes after 7. Good evening. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Ricardo Brooks. And we have an advisory for you from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade regarding the developments we're seeing in the Middle East. It reads, the government of Jamaica is closely monitoring escalating tensions and heightened instability in the Middle East. Jamaican nationals are strongly advised to avoid non-essential travel to the region, particularly to countries experiencing armed conflict or civil unrest. Those countries include the State of Israel,
the State of Palestine,
the State of Qatar,
and the Islamic Republic of Iran. The government acknowledges that the situation remains unpredictable, with the potential for other countries in the region to be affected with little or no prior warning. Jamaican nationals are therefore urged to exercise heightened vigilance and to closely monitor official updates. At present, says the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, it has no confirmed report of Jamaican nationals present in Israel, Palestine, and Iran. The ministry is, however, aware of Jamaicans living in Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates.
As tensions continue to escalate, the government of Jamaica will maintain close monitoring of the situation and remains prepared to provide consular support as needed. Individuals with information regarding Jamaican relatives or friends currently in the affected areas are being urged to contact the ministry at consular@mfaft.gov.jm. That's consular@mfaft.gov.jm, or you can do so via WhatsApp at 876-391-8105.
Jamaican nationals, says the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, currently residing in or planning to transit through these and other affected areas across the region, are strongly advised to exercise extreme caution and to undertake the following precautionary measures.
You are, the ministry says, to remain vigilant and stay informed by monitoring credible news sources and official advisories.
Ensure that all travel documents are valid and up to date.
Comply fully with safety and security directives issued by local authorities.
Ascertain the location of the nearest emergency shelter in the event of intensified hostilities.
And formulate contingency plans for departure, particularly where personal safety may be at risk.
According to the ministry, nationals are also reminded that airport closures, airspace restrictions, and border closures may occur without notice.
The ministry continues, the government of Jamaica remains committed to the safety and well-being of nationals and continues to work in close coordination with international partners, honorary consuls, and diplomatic missions in the region to monitor developments and respond as needed. The following Jamaican missions and consulates, they give a list, including those located in the region, have been alerted and are standing by to assist in the event that an emergency response becomes necessary. The Jamaican High Commission in London,
as well as the Honorary Consul of Jamaica in Israel, the Honorary Consul of Jamaica in Jordan, as well as Lebanon and the Turkish Republic, the honorary consuls there.
So that advisory from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, of course, tensions high in the Middle East following Israel's strike against Iran and the United States' subsequent strike against Tehran in assistance of Israel, and then Iran's response to Israel striking Israel. It's sometimes hard to keep up with who is striking who. And then, of course, today, I believe it was, Iran fired at a U.S. base in Qatar.
And what was instructive about that, the Iranians gave advance warning to the Kuwaitis and to the Americans, which suggest strongly that they were calibrating. I think that's the word being used, that they were not wanting to provoke, what Trump calls a devastating response from the Americans. So they warned the Americans.
Of course. I see some people asking for us to repeat the email. The email you are to contact if you need assistance, consular@mfaft.gov.jm, or you can WhatsApp 876-391-8105. So be safe.
We should tell you the U.S. President Donald Trump tweeted about an hour ago that there's been a ceasefire agreed between Iran and Israel. Iran has confirmed that the Israelis have not.
So, the Qataris are also reserving the right, they say, to respond to those strikes from Iran within their airspace. We're going to go to your call, 630-9371-24, 618-8255. We're going to the break? All right, we're going to the break and come back.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You've led teams, built businesses, and influenced change. Now, lead research that transforms your field. Apply now for the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean's Doctor of Business Administration or Doctor of Professional Practice. Flexible, research-based, and designed for working professionals. All UCC programs are accredited by the University Council of Jamaica. Learn more and apply online at ucc.edu.jm. UCC, fostering leadership and innovation.
Is your money idling when it could be thriving? With CIBC Caribbean's fixed deposit offering, you can take charge of your cash. With 50,000 Jamaican to start, choose terms from 30 days to 2 years. Lock in your funds and enjoy premium rates guaranteed to grow your wealth. Whether you're eyeing short or long-term gains, our fixed deposit account puts you firmly in control of your money. Now is the time to open a CIBC fixed deposit account and start earning more today. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Back with you on Nationwide at 5. Before we go to the phone lines, Cliff.
Yes, sir.
We've been saying here that it appears that we're in for a close election. The Blue Dot polls certainly point to that, and I gather it's been reported elsewhere that a close race is in fact in the offings. And I wanted to ask you, can you think of a time when you look back on all the campaigns you've seen, and you've seen quite a bit, that you think the election was won or lost based on those 2 weeks of the campaign?
I would think the 2016 election of February, when
that one seat,
that 32-31, that election was won and lost, I think, during the campaign. Yeah, you went into election day. Yeah, very close. And it was won virtually in the last week or two by a Jamaica Labour Party, Andrew Holness-led machine that was just simply superior to the People's National Party. I think that was the first time we were beginning to recognize that this much vaunted political machinery that was recognized as the PNPs, that it was no longer that, very strong, organized political movement. And I think that would have been the 2016 election. The 2007 election as well, when Bruce Golding led the Labour Party to, that was what, 30...
I think it was a 3-seat majority.
3-seat majority. That election was also very close. He went into the election campaign not sure. Yeah, there were signs though that the Labour Party under Golding was doing better than expected.
Yes.
Yeah, Portia Simpson as leader of the PNP was unsure. She had difficulty, convincing people that she was up to the job. Yeah.
Do you think this campaign will be decisive?
Yes, I think it will be decisive. And it is going to come down to substance over hype. Substance over hype. I think this election, we're seeing some firsts in modern Jamaican politics. Yeah, we're seeing a first in a party in government for 9 years. Yes, and on the brink of an election is not being written off as facing certain defeat. That has not happened. Yeah, in recent times in Jamaican politics, when you get to the second term, by the time you get to the end of the second term, it's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah,
that the incumbent is going to lose. Yeah, and the other thing is, and I keep on saying this, and no one has been able to tell me which other political party seeking another term in office has had such a strong record to run on. Yeah? Certainly not Michael Manley in 1980. Yes? Not Edward Seaga in February 1989. Yeah? Not P.J. Patterson in March 93 or 97. P.J. Patterson was fortunate to have had a united PNP against a very divided
and fractured
JLP who were at war with itself. Yeah? And that, I think, led to PJ making the history of leading the PNP to 3 consecutive electoral victories. I don't see another party, certainly Bruce Golding or Portia Simpson, didn't have this kind of strong record. You realize it's the first time in an election that a governing party is not being hammered because of rising crime
or unemployment.
Yes. It's the first time. No opposition party before now has had those 2 beating sticks taken from it. This opposition can't use that. That was a standard beating stick for opposition parties seeking to topple governments. And that is why this election is a first. And also, some people ask, why is it still so close? I think it is still close because the fatigue, incumbency, fatigue. Jamaicans don't like the idea of giving a party more than two terms.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw what that did to us under the PNP. Yeah, so this government has to earn it. They have to earn it.
The People's National Party must be concerned, though, because both major national polls show them losing momentum. And I think at a time when you'd want to be gathering steam, not losing it.
Absolutely. You, as the opposition party, now been on the road for 4 years? Yeah? And you're not moving away, you're not developing momentum. According to the other poll, a 9-point lead established just under a year ago has been erased.
Yeah.
Yeah? Now, that is not good. That's not a good sign.
630-937-124, 618-8255. Marie, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Doing very well. How are you?
I am good. I'm calling about Western St. Mary.
Yes.
Okay. Last week you went into Western St. Mary.
Correct.
And interviewed persons.
Yes.
To find out how Bobby Montague was doing.
Yes, ma'am.
I noticed you went into Boscobel, Aracabessa.
That's right.
And I don't know where the other place that you went. But if you want to find out if there's a JLP slipping off of Bobby Montague, those two places should not be the place that you go to.
You want me to go to Karen Hall?
Karen Hall, Retreat,
Yes.
Cox Peace, Wood Park, those places.
Yes.
You go into Arcabessa, that's going into PNP territory. It's like going into Karen Hall and asking about Woodbine. And then the whole day was like Bash Bobby Montague Day. Nothing, the Prime Minister was in there the day before. So many things happened. And the whole day was Bobby Montague going to lose.
Well, I'm not sure that's quite right, because I know across all three newscasts we would have reported certainly the planned opening of the Boscobel. Is it an urban center or some kind of
that was in the afternoon.
commercial development?
First thing in the morning
I know
was Bobby Montague losing. Second newscast.
I know, but I'm just making the point. I'm just making the point that I know across three newscasts. Remember, I said three. We certainly reported all that happened in Western St. Mary. You perhaps were aggrieved by the soundings.
No, aggrieved is not. Aggrieved is not a word. I was not aggrieved. I am just saying that it was skewed because you cannot go into Aracabessa and Boscobel and get any.
And Gale as well.
And Gale as well. Right. And and somebody invited their yard, and somebody like that, if Bobby even gave them the world, they would still say he isn't doing anything. That's just my point.
But you did hear that there were positive sentiments, though. You did hear the positive sentiments, right?
Yeah, but that was pushed to the back. That was pushed to the back.
I don't know that I agree with that, because I know, having written the story,
I'm a listener.
and having written the story, I can tell you the positive sentiment was included. I know in Nationwide this morning they played the positive sentiment. So I don't know if I agree with push to the back, but I hear you.
That's my opinion, but, next time you just need to balance it. If you're going to a dead PNP, staunch PNP area, you also have to I'm not saying that Liberites are not falling off, but you would have to go into a JLP area to get the true, a staunch, his bastion. That's where you have to go to find out. Okay?
No, I take the point. We didn't get to go to Karen Hall, and I take the point that that's where his strength is, having been counseled there. We didn't get to go there. We managed 3 of the 5.
Okay, no problem. All right. Bye-bye.
Appreciate the call, Marie. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. 630-937-124, 618-8255. Errol, good evening.
Good evening, Ricardo.
How are you?
I'm big man, Mr. Hughes.
Good evening.
I know what you say, Mr. Hughes, and then you say, we put the lady them in our seat. It's like you do. I'm confident the lady them.
What do you mean?
2020, when we put Rhoda Crawford down there, kill her dead, she couldn't beat Peter Bunting. All when she tell her, run her down, she can't. Are you surprised tonight?
You know, part of what we have to do, we have to be guided by the numbers. Yes? And we have to have a healthy dose of skepticism.
Especially when faced with the history.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's shocking tonight, Mr. Hughes, because I listen to Rhoda every time you're on the phone. You're under radar.
I did not see Rhoda Crawford beating Bunting. like a whole lot of people. I am no different.
I watch the election night like a ton fool. I watch it, you know.
Ton fool.
All right, you see Anti-Marsha now?
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Surprise about Anti-Marsha just going down. She's a winner.
What a way she just turned anti-Viola liberate them all of a sudden.
Auntie is a winner, you know, listen last time, Mr. Hughes, you know, listen to me here, Ricardo, so I can get a little piece right in it. I watch all the people them down there.
Yes, I watched the entire thing.
Me that walk. You never have me in a Edith Dalton James I walk. You never hear me in a Edith Dalton James I walk. You never hear.
Him never hear it because him did there Western St. Andrew.
St. Andrew me the last night, man. Anyway, Mr. Hughes.
Yes, sir.
Name any lady them where Andrew put in her seat will lose. Name one, tell me.
Name one what? One?
Are the lady them where Andrew put in her seat and them get beat. Name one, no?
Errol might be onto something there.
I'm thinking Errol. Since 2016?
Yeah.
2020?
It's a no.
Yeah.
Okay.
He certainly can't think of one
I
that
can't
he has
think of
endorsed and supported.
Every woman win.
Yes.
Every woman win. So this is a woman I used to walk over right now in our country there.
Uh-huh.
Last night, no, you know watch Saturday night on Clarendon with them baptize the PMP councillor.
No, I haven't seen that.
Saturday night at Clarendon, thing there from St. Anne's.
Oh, from the Alexandria division.
Yeah, right. Baptizing. The man said, yeah, so nice, Mr. Hughes. All of them have come over, man. So, we don't worry. But last night, one thing more ask. The last time I watched the opposition, the seat where what's your name? Yeah, right, on the radar since the evening.
Tamika Davis.
And him attack. This, that, but you know, you must say blood and fire. What the blood and fire mean, Mr. Hughes?
I'm trying to get some understanding of what is it something on the streets now, Ricardo?
So George pointed me to a song.
Blood and fire.
Which I think he said was produced by Isaac Buchanan's dad. Yeah. So I think it comes, I gather it comes from that.
Oh.
Well, Mr. Hughes.
Well, before you go, Errol, I now recall one of the women who Andrew put forward and it didn't work out.
Which one?
Not Natalie, Rodriguez, who ran against Natalie Nita up in North Central St. Catherine.
Okay, yeah, well, that seat there you don't know a PMP strong seat, you know?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In 2020 that, right?
That was 2020. I think so.
Yeah, man, because she did come close to Natalie still, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, them did say, you know, Marcus Garvey say, one prophet say, one leader, head, I go roll along Sandy Gully. You remember that prophet that he said so?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my face saw Marky G when he get that beat now. In followers, I'm going to roll him down Sandy Gully.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
Yeah, man, in followers, I'm going to roll him out, man. You don't know them stay. As they get a beat, then get rid of them. Just like the MP, them, when they lose, because you then run at the people, them, and go ahead, so you don't fear the people, them.
Mm.
You see how Damian Young get beaten 2020 and him dead and out on work boss?
Work boss.
And he's going to win the seat now.
My YouTubers are pointing out that also Jody and Myrie lost to Peter Phillips.
No, well, I understood the question from Errol to be women that Wholeness has strongly campaigned for or gotten behind in a serious way. That's why I understood the question.
No, who he installed under his leadership.
Well, I didn't understand the question that way, but all right.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Errol.
Oh, Mr.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I say, remember saying, man, the PMP, them, whether the opposition or the MP, them, as them lose, them get up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Crawford got put on the runway. Him not stay there to defend himself. Peter Bunting run again next door. Dayton Campbell runway. Them a runner. He and Neil, all of them runway. Stay with the people, man, build a trust with the people, them. Damian Young stay, and him a go beat Philip. Philip is a loser, Mr. Hughes. Remember me tell you that.
Well, he hasn't lost yet.
Hasn't he been winning since what, 2011?
20...
He won 2011.
Yeah. 2016, 2020.
When Porsche, the first time he won, when Porsche put him down the 2011. You know?
Right.
He has never lost down there.
2020.
So if you call the man a loser and him been a win 3 term?
Him fail, you know. Fail, you know.
All right, Errol, hear you. Thanks for the call. Alric, good evening.
Good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Mr. Hughes.
Good evening. Good evening.
Mr. Hughes, before I go to what I want to, I am just a step away from sleeping in the doghouse tonight because I got cut off today. It's my wife's birthday.
Oh, dear.
And she wanted to hear it from you. So I didn't get through today because the phone was giving trouble. So I'd like you to wish her for me because she wants to hear it from Mr. Hughes.
Well, Mrs. What's your wife's name? Mrs.
Gloria, Mr. Hughes.
Gloria.
She's 74 today.
Gloria, yes. Happy birthday. I hope you have been having a good day. I hope you had breakfast in bed, lunch on the veranda.
Mine you set up Alric, you know. Mine you set up Alric. Because if Alric don't know that that's a problem.
But at least I won't sleep in the doghouse tonight. That's also when I get back inside.
Alric, you tell the man say you can angle your mango.
All right.
But happy birthday, Gloria. And this is for you, Gloria.
Happy birthday to you, Miss Gloria. Hope you had a really special one, and that Alric makes the night even more better. Special. Yeah?
All right, guys, thanks. Mr. Hughes.
Yes, sir.
I'm Ricardo.
Yes,
around 8 weeks ago, one of your ardent listeners in the Minister Green constituency texted me and asked me, he's a JLP supporter like myself, text me and asked me, what is wrong why JLP is not naming a candidate for Mr. Samuda's seat and for the seat where RJ is now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you exactly what I texted him and told him, Ricardo and Mr. Hughes. I texted him and I told him, do not underestimate Brogard. He's an astute politician, was learned at the feet of one of the best. And when he makes his move, everybody will line up behind the candidate.
Mm-hmm.
I said to him, he's a small version of the person we learned from. And my friend texted me back and told me that he did not know that Brogard was that astute. Well, he has proven me right, and I'll tell you why quickly. He quelled all the arguments in Samuda's seat, got the 2 prospective candidates to resign, and then everybody lined up behind the senator. There was this problem up in Northwest Manchester, Mr. Hughes, you and I spoke about it. Well, have you guys realized that Northwest, that seat in Manchester, that this candidate, they have now started calling auntie check all the years that elections have been run in Jamaica and maybe take out the former finance minister. Have you seen any candidate with such a high profile be sent to a constituency out in rural Jamaica?
Lisa Hanna, maybe. I can. Lisa Hanna was last minute. She was last minute.
She was, yes, parachuted in, as they said. Well, testing me tonight, man.
No, but Mr. Hughes, because I told the guy, I told him that Andrew is astute. Yes. And Mr. Hughes, I don't think you're going to find. Audrey Marks started her own company, Paymaster. After she spent years at Air Jamaica, came up the ranks, astute business lady. Spent years in America as ambassador, helped the country. Was assigned to some boards that no other Jamaican were assigned to and come back. Now the Prime Minister brought her back. And then the problem now out there, and we sent out there, and within 2 weeks they're calling her Auntie Audrey.
I think what you're saying, without saying it that way, Alric, is that after this election, one way or the other, it is going to be discussed and recognized that Andrew Holness has quietly remade the Labour Party. Yeah? He has really infused it with talent, in a way that has largely gone under the radar, except for the recent kerfuffle.
You are the only person maybe who can see where I was going. Exactly, Ricardo, where I was going. That's what I told my friend.
Yes, he has really reshaped the Labour Party. Yeah, some people criticize him, for example, that he took too long, to really usher out, some of the veterans. That's why he ended up with the recent problems. But when you look at the personnel, the talent, the pool that Labour Party has at its command now versus on the other side, it's just a chalk.
I'm going to get somebody else get a call. That's my point. I rest my case, Mr. Hughes and Ricardo. And as my friend texts me back, he did not know that Andrew was so astute. Now Andrew has proven it. And Mr. Hughes, don't underestimate him. When he hits the ground, you're going to see what happens.
All right, Tariq. Good. TV man, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Mr. Hughes and Mr. Is your father, no? Can't look at no speaker like. I always think of your father.
You gonna be my father?
No.
Let me see.
Oh God.
No.
Anyway.
Let me do it, man.
Anyway,
you gonna be my father.
How?
Pops? He could be your father, man. You speak alike, man.
Speak alike?
No, even look alike, man.
Wow, that's crazy. No, TV man, don't do me that, man. Don't do me that. Please. Don't do me that.
Take him off.
Oh, God.
Don't do me that, TV man. Look at me handsome and something. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Oh, God. Anyway. Oh, God. When we come out tonight, well, the man drop into here near for me now. And the people at the what you call them now, the JTA. Tell them drop them here. Do people ever wonder how these people do the election? It's ever exposed to know how they do the election?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
To get somebody elected?
How?
How they go about their voting?
Yeah, teachers vote.
They vote across the regions?
Yes, but they vote, right. They vote. But when they vote, do you wonder how them transport their vote and how them take the procurement measures to protect them vote and all these things?
Is it a physical vote? It's not electronic they do it?
Vote? No, it's not electronic.
Oh.
I get to learn about them voting system. Because you have to do some little research and go all over, go find out things. I never know the carton box. These people with one hole where vote can drop out of them and show you. If they show you the box with them thing right up on it, mark JTA. So if them feel like keep this person in, just why I realize that this civic group, always have PMP at the head of it. because them put and choose who they feel like put there and keep there.
No.
Man, I'm telling you how they vote. This voting system how they vote. The teachers vote okay, right? But the voting to transfer to where it want to go. You don't know who vote for who, you know. I want Carton back to me, can just throw down a riverside and us right back one thing, put pan it and number it up and put something in it and we go about business, you know.
Brethren, I think you need to don't underestimate.
Well, I mean, I think it's safe.
No, but hold on, because I hear where you're going.
Yes.
The Jamaica Teachers Association, yes, from its birth.
Yes.
Yeah, has been very supportive of the People's National Party.
Yes.
It's leadership.
That's why I'm saying they have to keep somebody there.
But it does mean that does not equate to them rigging the elections.
No, for them oneself, man. For them oneself. Not to nobody. For them oneself.
I think that's where you're falling. I think that's where you're falling into error. Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead.
The base of the teaching profession. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That constitutes the membership of the JTA.
Yes.
Has been traditionally from birth loyal to the People's National Party.
And yes, very senior members of the PNP.
Yes,
teachers, that's what I'm always saying.
And therefore, don't denigrate or over exaggerate the point about them rigging elections. Yeah, teachers, were always supporters of the PNP. Remember, the PNP at one time prided itself, on being the intelligentsia, the well-educated, the middle classes, the professional groups, the teachers, the lawyers, the doctors, the nurses, and you see that reflected in elections after elections in the JTA. And if we're going to be faithful to history and the
truth,
but
shift up now, so it's a cause a problem.
No, be faithful to the history. There have been occasions where well-known JLP people have been elected president of the JTA. But that has been far less frequent than well-known PNP people. Like the current president-elect, Mr. Mark Malab. Yes? He was the PNP constituency representative for Western St. Thomas only about 4 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but that is
they're connected.
Mm-hmm.
PNP have a hand to them. That's why.
But don't say, sir, that they rigged the elections.
That's why they can use them to come out, because they always have a bunch of teachers. I'm listening to a program, even the same program, where the teachers send the lady go and sign off. So we'll check what the government are doing. Go and go sign. And she refused the majority of the teachers, so we will check. And she said, she not sign, but yes, still to use somebody else to make a signature. And she can give a stand aside to criticize and think it's something good she do. And said that's credibility in a fear because the teacher, she not signed that for teachers there. Then this is what I always ask these people, what is a livable wage in Jamaica? Because we have to go by our currency, and we have to go by our economy and what we are producing, what we are bringing in. So we're asking these people, what is a livable wage to them? 500,000, 600,000, 700,000, $1 million? Because they're not going to stop. And these people, because them of the organization, cling to the PNP. The PNP press them, but not send them out, but do them dirty job for them each time. Go out and block the road. Go out there, draw down the government. You have to get this. And then when you check it out, the PNP do not pay the teachers. Never pay the teachers in history, no time at all, compared to the JLP from ever since coming up. There's no way. Then if you have an organization where you say
I think you're on much stronger ground. Yes.
Right?
If you're
never
to take
pay these teachers that they use like scapegoat all the while. So if they have an organization that defends you all the time and always running up and down for you, why don't you take care of them? You never take care of them. You shove the country and plunge it down in things where we have a field where IMF said we could end up we ahead. And then when we come out at that time, you send again 5 years, we have street when the same teacher them, where you send out, you're going to demonstrate. And then this government have to come back again and pay them off again. And then you come back again and I plunge them again to plunge the country in that. It's like the PMP just don't like to see the Jamaican people with things. I don't know. I just have that feeling. Because there's no way people could operate like this. Anyway, next quick point.
No man TV, man, you get a run. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, somebody else now.
Who done it?
Hi, blessed evening to you and Mr. Hughes. Ricardo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. YouTubers, Murray Gold, Sharon Beth, just to name a few, Willow Will, and I mean Cheerful Bird. TV man was making a point. I agree with you, Cliff, in the latter part of his conversation that when it comes down to salary to teachers and public sector workers, the PNP has failed them. And this, I want to take you on, Cliff, a little, because you made a valid point there that the PNP and the pro-intelligence group that has always behind the PNP. And if they have all of these bright people behind them, why is it that they continue to fail Jamaica? In comparison to the JLP, who are pro-business people and able to carry out applications and to be more effective in terms of the economy. Because clearly, they couldn't pay these teachers because the PNP wasn't growing the economy.
I'll respond in a sentence. The PNP has been better at politicking.
Yes.
The JLP better at governing.
Yes.
The JLP, by the record, has demonstrated that it is better at governing. The PNP has demonstrated that it is better at playing politics.
You're absolutely right with that. The other thing, Cliff, the PJ participants third term, I heard you spoke about it also, and he achieved it clearly by a default, not with a profound situation like what Dr. Andrew Holness and Team JLP is now doing. We have never seen an incumbent doing so well, and therefore I think that the PNP would not be getting into any political debate are happy to go into it. No, just like how Trump went in and he ducked out there too because Kamala Harris was nailing him and he backed out of it. So I don't see them be very enthused about a political debate. The other thing, the salary increase thing leads also to the record need to set straight, because I think I saw an article in a Gleaner where a columnist or some letter writer spoke that we must remember how much money the government pay themselves, and they continue to tell this lie as if it's only the government MPs receive the salary increase, and they're speaking about 200 and 300% increase, and that's a blatant lie. The government has not paid themselves 300 or 200% increase. We who understand mathematics, I'm sorry, I mean, I'm not disrespecting you, Cliff, and Brooks, the more financial guy, my brethren there, Chevron Campbell. When you look at the time span when they got the increase, Cliff, 15 years were their last increase. So when you prorate it, they would have probably get about 35%, because let's say you use the same 20% that they propose to the public sector workers, and they don't get an increase from 15 years. So when you divide that by 2, because it's every 2 years, so it's like 140%. And then when you look at inflation and the fact that they're not going to get to
it is. I have to run, Levy, because the time is up. This whole business of the public sector increase, yes, under the Holness administration, is a classic example of the point I made. The JLP has not gotten the political kudos, rewards for granting public sector workers in Jamaica the largest increase in the history of modern Jamaica. They have not received the political reward for it. No, I have to go, sir. I have to go. So we're going to leave it for the evening. I want to say thanks to all of our callers, our producer, Dana Davey, our YouTubers. Yeah, they're all out this evening. They just love the politics. Yeah, if it is politics, they'll stay with you until midnight. To our news team, led by our editor, Cara Powell, and of course, Boogs, Andrew Anderson, our technical operator, and Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Ricardo Brooks.
Reminding you, take care of your loved one and look out for your neighbor. Good night.
Good night.
The gateway for Jamaica's athletes to several international